hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean, yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing, yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. Today I have tons of fall tier tray DIY ideas for you. We're going to be doing a total of 9 tier trays. This is every fall tier tray I have done on my channel. I will be sure to include chapters down below because this is going to be a long one. You can kind of pick whatever theme you want, or you can watch them all. Now, the first theme we're going to be doing is a soft green theme for a fall tier tray, and I really hope you enjoy today's video. So let's get started with my first fall tier tray. This is the tier tray I am going to decorate today. I actually got that at Bell's Outlet, I believe. 2-tier wood tray, and we are going to make this for my kitchen table. And the first thing I'm going to start with is lamb's ear. This is the lamb's ear from the Dollar Tree. I'm so glad they carry it now. I'm just cutting it off the stem so we can start filling in the top tier. I'm going to take some twine and just tie it around the pole there in the middle, just so I have something to kind of stand it in up against the pole to keep it from falling over. And the theme of this fall tier tray is going to be fall with like a nice mint green color. And I think the lamb's ear works perfectly with that. It's a really easy tier tray. A lot of finds, a lot of really easy things to do. Starting with the lamb's ear. So I put 4 pieces, tied them up, and then this is our first DIY. I found this great bottle at the Dollar Tree. It's got little stacked pumpkins on there. It's got that mint green color, and we're going to use it as a vase. So I'm just going to pop out the little cork and replace the ribbon with just a little twine. I didn't really want a farmhouse vibe on this one. And then these flowers were kind of my inspiration. These are a fall flower pick that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I love that like mint green color. And there's even a blue and then like an ivory. And that's going to kind of set the color scheme for this tier tray. Now, just standing in there alone, it just kind of goes all over the place. It doesn't really stay in put. So I'm going to take some Dollar Tree sand and just fill up the little bottle. I love these little bottles for tier trays. They're the perfect size, and you can do so many easy things with them by just making like a little vase. So I filled it up most of the way, and this is ready to go. So we're going to sit this on the top tier because it's nice and tall. And we're going to decorate all 4 sides of this tier tray because it's going to be on my kitchen table this fall. And I want every side to be decorated. Now, the next item is from the Target Dollar Spot. I got it for $1, a little mint green fuzzy pumpkin. And then the little mini or hay bale from the Dollar Tree. Be sure to shake your hay bale over a trash can because they are kind of messy when you take them out of the package. But they provide a great lift for a little pumpkin. And that pumpkin from Target Dollar Spot was the perfect color. It's that fuzzy green material, but you could always DIY your own Dollar Tree one with maybe like a washcloth. I think they might have a towel or a washcloth like that color at Dollar Tree, but I think they look great together. So you can see how quickly this tier tray is coming together. Now, the next item, I think these are new maybe. I got this at Dollar Tree this year, a little mint green little pumpkin, mint greenish light blue. And I'm going to use one of these great stands that one of my friends 3D printed for me. It's going to be a perfect little plate holder to make sure that stays put, standing straight up. And then I think these are kind of new too at the Dollar Tree. I found these in like this ivory color at Dollar Tree and also in black. So I thought the ivory would be perfect. It's distressed. It's exactly what I wanted, and it's a leaf, so I think that's going to be perfect for fall. It's nice and tall too, so we're going to definitely put this up here on the tier tray. And you can see that the lamb's ear is kind of like peeking out from behind everything. The next item, this is also from the Dollar Tree. It's that same bluish greenish color, a little candle holder that's a pumpkin. And instead of putting a candle on it, I thought it'd be really cute to put one of these little Target Dollar Spot woven pumpkins on top of it. These are only $1 at the Dollar Spot. at Target, and I thought that would make a perfect, easy little display with it. And I think these colors all work really well together. Everything's kind of neutral. It works together really well with like the mint green, the ivory. And then for a little filler, I found some of these little vine balls at Dollar Tree, and I thought these would make great filler for like the areas in the tier tray that kind of need something. And then I also got some of these cotton pods at Dollar Tree. These are the ones that have like the wire on them, which I don't necessarily need. So I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of snip those off just so they don't really get in the way. And I can use these 4 little cotton pods as filler for the tier tray as well. Super cute. And then, of course, maybe a little bit more lamb's ear. I'm going to cut these down smaller, though. Like each section into 2 like little pieces. So I have little pieces of lamb's ear that I can kind of tuck around because we have finished the top tier of the tier tray. So I want to go ahead and do like the filler there with those. So we're just going to fill in any of the areas here that are kind of open with some of the lamb's ear and the little vine balls. I think those are so cute. And they kind of go with any season, as does lamb's ear. I love it. I decorate with it year round. Just kind of filling it completely up so it looks nice and full. I love a full tier tray. Now moving on to the second tier, I want more lamb's ear. I always pick this up whenever I see it at Dollar Tree. It's so high end and I'm so glad they carry this now. I used to have to buy this at Walmart. And so I just cut them down into individual stems again. And what I'm going to do is almost make like a reef here in the bottom, like overlapping them to kind of fill up all of the void there in the middle so I can kind of decorate around the edges. And then I can always kind of stand these up so they can kind of peek out from behind the items. It's going to make it look really nice and full. And again, I really love that soft fuzzy leaves on there. It's going to go really good with like the mint green, light blue color scheme we have going on. Now check out these cool new signs at Dollar Tree this year. This little acorn, I wanted to switch it out. Instead of saying thankful, I wanted to add my own sign to it. So I've never tried removing one of these before, but it wasn't too hard. I tried to save the little leather thankful so I could reuse it, but I wasn't quite able to. I was able to like kind of rip it off, and then I was able to get the little tacks out. And I love just the raw wood color of the acorn, but I thought we could paint a little welcome fall sign. That is also from the Dollar Tree. And I didn't really have that like light mint color, like mint green color we were using today. So I mixed a little blue, a little green, a little white, and that green's really dominant. So a little bit more blue till I got the perfect shade. And I'm just using a makeup sponge to paint the little welcome fall sign. And I picked this one in particular because I think it's going to do a really good job of covering up those little tackles. So I just hot glue that to the front of the little wood acorn sign. And this is the perfect size for a tier tray. I thought it'd be really cute to tie a little twine right around the little acorn stem into a little bow. And this DIY was so easy and it turned out so cute. So here is our little acorn fall sign. Let's go put this on the tier tray right down here at the bottom. As you can see, perfect size for a tier tray. And let's keep decorating. Now the next item was also from the Target dollar spot. These are $3. It's that same mint green fuzzy pumpkin, but this one is a larger one. So as you can see, I think it's worth $3 though, because it's perfect. I didn't have to do anything to it. The color is perfect. The size is perfect too. And I always make sure that kind of take the tags off. I took the tag off the acorn because when you have a tier tray like that, you might be able to see it from the other side. Now these are also from the Dollar Tree this year. This one has a leather tag on it that says grateful. I kind of want to leave it on there, so I decided just to take this little leaf sign and make it a double-sided sign so I can use it for Thanksgiving as well if I want to. So I just go ahead and flip it over, remove the tag, And then we're going to do, I want like a distressed ivory finish on this, very similar to that metal leaf that we had on the top tier. I want like this antique parchment color followed up like with some distressing with some antique wax by Waverly to give me that same feel. And we're going to use some of the new little self-adhesive stencils they have at Dollar Tree this year to do a hand-painted sign. So I just distress again with Antique Wax by Waverly, and these are great. They can be a little tricky trying to make sure they don't like fold up on themselves. I'm going to do this one. Fall is proof that change is beautiful. I think that's going to be perfect on a little leaf sign. And they are stickers, so you can peel and stick them. And be careful because they do like to get all tangled up on themselves. And I just lay that flat. Now, full disclosure, I meant to do a little painter's tape around the edges because I knew there was no way I was going to be able to stencil that without getting any on there. But I'm using this like light brown color. I can't remember the name of that. Kind of a teddy bear color. That might be the color of it. And I just use a stencil dauber from Dollar Tree and I go all around, wiping off all the extra that I should have used painter's tape. But I distressed with brown, so I think it will work. Now, I only did one coat, and I wish I would have done two because there at the bottom, it was a little hard to read the beautiful part. So I had to go in with a really tiny brush to try to, touch that up a little bit. And if I went over with another coat, it probably would have been a little bit better. I don't really care about bleeding or anything like that because it is a distress sign and I'm going to distress it more. I'm going back in with that antique parchment and distressing everything that we just painted on there. And it just makes it look like an old rustic fall leaf sign. And I also try to cover up any of the areas that I kind of get too much brown on from not putting down some painter's tape. But here it is. I wanted it to look rustic, so I guess I got what I wanted, and I think those stencils are really fun to use. Making sure I don't have any wet paint on there. And let's keep decorating. Now, the next sign, this was just a thrifted sign I got for 99 cents at Goodwill. Nice, chunky, hardwood sign. You could use anything. I just wanted something square that's going to stand up on its own. And I painted it white to cover up the pumpkin that was already on there. And we're going to do a really easy, fun burlap project on this. I had an idea of something I wanted. And so I'm going to use some of the brown or tan burlap and some of the white burlap from Dollar Tree. So first I'm going to cut a square larger than the sign of the tan burlap. And then I'm also going to cut a little shape out of the white burlap. What I want to do is do a tan burlap sign with a white burlap pumpkin on it. So I just need a square of both. Now, a lot of you guys have told me that if you Mod Podge and dry the burlap first, it makes it much easier to cut and doesn't fray. So that's what I'm doing. I am Mod Podging all over because you guys have the greatest ideas. I love it when you guys give me crafting tips. And then I'm also going to put a rather thick layer of Mod Podge here on the sign because we're going to cover it with a burlap. And sometimes it can be a little squirrely getting that to stick. I might have used a little bit too much Mod Podge, but that's okay. So I just put it over it all uncut and everything like this. I can always cut it once I get it dry. And then I just use like a baby wipe to kind of push that Mod Podge down into the fibers. Make sure that the burlap is good and stuck down. And then once I get it dry with my heat gun, I just use my scissors and just cut as close to the edge as I can. And this worked out way better than if I would have tried to cut it down to size because, burlap likes to fray. Just trimming it up, making it look nice. And the trick with the Mod Podge and letting it dry on the burlap, great tip because I was able to cut like an intricate shape in this. I'm going to just kind of freehand cut out a pumpkin. I didn't want to discolor the white at all by drawing on it, so I don't do a very good job because it's very uneven, but it's a pumpkin, so it's like an oval. So if you fold it in half, you can even it up like that. And then I wanted it to be like a section pumpkin. So that's what it looks like so far. Then I'm just going to go ahead and cut like the right side of the pumpkin off And then I'm going to go ahead and cut the other side of the pumpkin off too. And then we are just going to Mod Podge that right to the front of our tan burlap sign. See how cute and easy that is? And I think that's a really fun DIY. Wanted something maybe with not green in it this time. A little bit of the ivory that we've been using, a little bit of the natural like wood color that we've been using for the burlap. And I coat the back of them with more Mod Podge and using a baby wipe, kind of pushing that down. And, you know, it had all that dried Mod Podge on there too. So when I go in here and get it a little bit wet and then use my heat gun, it glued perfectly. To finish off the top of our pumpkin, I just take a little Dollar Tree twine, tie a really sweet little bow to decorate the pumpkin stem, and just glue that right on. This was so easy to make, and I think it's so cute. What do you guys think about my little burlap pumpkin sign? The sides were already white, so I'm going to kind of leave it like that. And we are going to put it here next to our little leaf sign we just painted. Perfect size. I love that it's nice and chunky. It's made out of like real wood, so it's nice and heavy. And then I also found this at the Target dollar spot, but I removed the tag. I can't remember. It was either $3 or $5. Probably $3, but nice size. It's just like that pumpkin we used on the top. So this is a larger version. And I love that braided material of, I guess, is it raffia maybe? And now it is nice and full, so we can just use some of that filler to fill up the bottom too until it is complete. This tier tray was probably one of the easiest tier trays I've ever done. I really love how it turned out, and I think it's going to look great on my table for fall. I decided I needed a little bit more filler, so I decided to use some of these little sweater pumpkins. Now, it's a little tricky to get the clips off the bottom, though. I did have to use my heat gun to kind of melt their glue. And then I'm just going to kind of sit 2 of them kind of back here in the lamb's ear where you can kind of see them peeking out. And then maybe 1 up here at the top. And this tier tray is complete. I'll give you a little music here while you enjoy this one, and then we'll be right back with the next fall tier tray. Now up next, I have another fall tier tray theme. This one is woodland critters, so think like forest animals and stuff like that. I love that theme for fall. So we're gonna do a 2-tier tray. I love this 2-tier tray. I got it on Amazon. I think it's beautiful. I love the rectangular shape, and we are gonna give it a woodland animal makeover here. So the first step, I'm gonna use reindeer moss from Dollar Tree, because I kind of want to give it the feeling of a forest floor. So I'm just going to break up the reindeer moss here all over. I think it looks just like moss you would find in the forest, and kind of do like a little bed of that on the top and also on the bottom before we start decorating this to look like woodland animals and a little forest. I think this looks really cool. Just trying to break it up. Trying to have enough to kind of be peeking out wherever I'm going to kind of need it. And then we can start decorating it. The first step is I wanted to do a fun little fall tree on my tier tray. And I decided to do it with the blue leaves from Dollar Tree just because I love blue. I thought it would be fun. But you could do it with more traditional colors as well. So the first step is I am just cutting my tags off. And then I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree twine, and I'm going to tie that to the middle pole of my tier tray to try to make that look like a tree. You might have to use your imagination. But I thought like the wood pole could be the tree, and then all the fall leaves could be my little blue fall leaves. Super fun. Just a matter of holding those in place and tying them on with some Dollar Tree twine, which was a little tricky, and I might have needed a third hand here. But once I get one knot, it was a little bit easier. I just want enough just to kind of keep that in place and for it not to fall over like that. So I decided to do a second row of twine here to make sure that doesn't happen again. And then I'll cover all that to kind of make it look more like a tree. And so you won't see all the plastic pieces of the leaves. Now for my tree, I'm going to use some of this great birch ribbon from Dollar Tree. I love this stuff. I think it's so cool. And it's going to give it like that bark image on the tree. And I think that's going to work out great. Isn't it cool? I love DIYing with this, especially for fall. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off some pieces that I can use to wrap around that top tier pole to cover up all of the plastic. Going to take my hot glue gun and just kind of assemble it here on my tier tray. Kind of have to do that. I just glue it to itself, and I'm going to make a little faux tree trunk right here in the middle of my tier tray. It's going to hide all the plastic parts of my leaves, and then I cut 2 of those pieces, so now I can go in with the second piece to make my tree a little taller. And I think that's a fun little effect for the top of my tier tray. That is how it turned out, with all my blue leaves peeking out at the top. Up next, I wanted to make a cute little banner for my tier tray. I always think that's so fun. So I'm going to use some Dollar Tree twine and some Dollar Tree ribbon. This is actually from Easter. I buy it every year because I love it because it's nice and blue and white. I can use it for coastal. I can use it for whatever. And since we kind of have a blue theme going on this little woodland creatures tier tray, I'm going to cut little blue pennant banners. I'm avoiding the wire parts. I just want the ribbon parts. Just cutting enough triangles to make a cute little pennant banner to go on the front of the tier tray. I think that always gives your tier tray so much personality when it has one of these. So I cut down 5. I usually like to do odd numbers like that. I just found the middle of my twine, and we are simply just going to hot glue these on, just kind of spacing them out evenly the best that we can. It's just going to be a very rustic little mini pennant banner. Just a few more pieces here. And I love making these. I make these for my coffee bar, I make them for my tier trays. Anytime I can add a little banner, I'm definitely going to do it. Super cute and really fun for a little pop of blue. And I just hang that on the top. I just do a little dot of hot glue on both sides of my tier tray so I don't really damage anything, but that's going to hold it in place, give it a little color, and look fun there on the front of our little woodland animal tier tray. Now, this is a thrift find. I found this half price at Goodwill, and you can tell it's been broken. It looks really old, and I absolutely love it. It's made out of like a cast, like it's made out of maybe plaster or Paris or something like that. But look how it looks like it's all carved. I think it's so pretty. So he's the star of my show. I got him for like $1, and I just put him right on the front. Now, remember this little guy? This is the one they had last year. So it was a squirrel holding a pine cone instead of an acorn. And yes, I know the difference. I know. I called pine cones, acorns in my candle video. A million of you guys have told me. It was like 3 a.m. when I had to do that voiceover. So forgive me. I know they were pine cones. I know. I tried to go in and edit it, but once you've got sound up on YouTube, there is no editing. So I think he's going to look really cute there on the tier tray. Up next, these mushrooms. I got these in every color this year, But these are the blue ones. I think they're so cute, and I think they go great with like a forest theme or with woodland animals for fall. So I'm just going to use a couple of those to decorate our tier tray. Now, on their own, they don't like want to stand up on their own because the bottom is a little bit rounded and they're very lightweight because they're made out of foam. So I'm just going to make little bases for mine with the little wood cubes from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree, just to make the bottom heavy, make the bottom flat, and I can kind of hide that down in all the moss that we have going on the tray. But just in case I can't, I'm going to go ahead and attach a little moss with just hot glue there going around the edges to kind of disguise those. Just kind of a problem solver there to get those to stand up on their own and to weigh them down on the bottom, which is going to be necessary for them to stand upright. So I just take that same reindeer moss that we used on the tier tray and just hot glue it along the bottom on all three. These were so cute. I wanted to use all of them on the tier tray. So I'm going to do one up here on the top, opposite our little squirrel we added. And then maybe a couple on the bottom. I did have a little bit of extra reindeer moss from that, so I'm going to add that to my tray as well to make it super full. So the other two are going to go down here on the bottom, maybe one on each side. Up next, I checked the pet aisle and I found a little dog toy that's actually a squirrel. So hey, I'm going to take advantage of that. I think he's going to look super cute on our tier tray, and he even squeaks. Some of their dog toys can be kind of ugly, but I think he's kind of cute, and I'm a big fan of squirrels, so I had to have him. Isn't he cute? So I think he'll look really cute on there. Even though it's like a stuffed animal, I like to use those sometimes on my tier trays because I think it's fun. So we're going to put him back there in the back because he's nice and tall. He can be our little squirrel on the bottom. Up next, this little guy is from Dollar Tree. They have these again this year. The little, I guess it's a hedgehog, right? Holding an apple. And he's so cute. Now, the apple's not painted great, and I had some red paint that I darkened a little bit, and we're just going to kind of update the paint on him, kind of like we did before with the pine cone on the raccoon. So he's also got like a little bit of a skinned up nose. Sometimes you can find these at the Dollar Tree, and they're not perfect, but we're going to try to touch him up a little bit and just make him look a little bit better. I didn't have any paint that color though, so I'm trying to use a little bit of ivory and a little bit of Antique Wax by Waverly to try to kind of get close to that color, just so I can kind of patch him up a little bit. I don't want his nose to look all skinned up like that. And I just kind of paint the tip of his nose. It's not the same color, but I think it looks better than a chip. And he's got little sleepy eyes on him. I think he's so cute. And I just had to have him on this little fall tier tray. Look at that big grin. I love these things. They're so adorable. I think they're great quality for $1.25 as well. We're going to place him right in front because he's a little bit shorter than our stuffed squirrel back there. And keep on finding items. Now, this was a Halloween costume from the Dollar Tree. It is the raccoon mask. And I saw it and I said, I wonder if I could make something for my woodland animal tier tray with this. And so I'm going to give it a go. It's just like the little mask part of a raccoon that they're so famous for. So I'm just going to cut the strap off of the mask. And I just want to kind of display that as is because it definitely looks like a cute little raccoon to me. But I want it to stand up since it's going to be on a tier tray. So I'm just going to simply glue the mask onto one of these little Five Below Jenga blocks that I love to craft with. And it'll make just a very easy little stand here. I wasn't sure if it would fall over or not. So I take a couple of the Dollar Tree Jenga blocks too, glue those together, and kind of glue that to the back just to make sure that it stands straight up. Kind of doing like an upside down T brace there. But I thought this would be really fun on the tier tray. You can kind of just see straight through. You're going to get that little raccoon mask effect. And I think that's going to look really fun on the tier tray. Who knew that you could craft with Dollar Tree costumes for your tier tray, right? I'm going to have him right here in the back because he's nice and tall, peeking out a little raccoon mask. Now, I thought we needed a tier tray, so I'm going to use some of the little wood foxes from Dollar Tree and then a little Dollar Tree fall sign. I picked this one because it was blue and I thought that would be cute. It would go with our blue theme on our tier tray. And I'm just going to pop off the little pumpkin that's kind of sticking out, trying to minimize the damage to the paper if I can. And then this is the little fox ornament that I need to cover up that area. So I think we can make this work. They do have little holes in them, but I'm going to try to fill that up and just do a cute little fall seam. I do use a little glue stick there just to try to glue my paper down, clean it up a little bit, and then fill that hole in with some spackle. Wanted to make sure this was going to work and which direction I wanted it to be, so it's going to make it work the best before I put my spackle in there. And I think I decided. So I'm going to put it in this way from the back. That way it won't be super messy on the other side. And I wish they would make those ornaments without having a hole drilled into the heads, because a lot of times you want to use them for crafting. You don't want to hang them. I hardly ever hang the ornaments from Dollar Tree. Now, it is a great wood, so I'm just going to go ahead and stain that with some Antique Wax by Waverly, just to have a little wood fox for this cute little sign. And that way, it's really pretty, the stained wood, and then you don't really have to go through and paint it all the different colors of the fox, so it makes it a little easier. I just do a thin coat of Antique Wax by Waverly all over, and then wipe off the excess with a paper towel, like that beautiful wood grain behind it. Now, the frame on this existing sign is about the same color, so that's going to work really well. I do have to glue it exactly where I need to cover up the damage to the paper, because I really liked the blue wallpaper background there. So I did kind of have to off-center my little fox and the fox sign, but that's okay because then I have room for words, right? So I'm going to use the little Scrabble tiles from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to find the letters to spell out the word fall. I always pick those up when I see them because sometimes, you have to have several packages to find all the letters that you're going to need. They also have them in black and white. I don't like those as well. I like these more traditional Scrabble tiles. They go with my crafting a little bit better. I was wondering, though, if I could stain them a little bit to make them a little bit darker to go with that. They are coated with a lot of sealant, so I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but it's an experiment. I thought maybe we could add a little Antique Wax by Waverly distressing on these, just to give them a little bit more color, maybe a little bit more wood grain, and it actually worked a little bit. So just distressing in one direction, and then kind of cleaning those up with a paper towel to wipe off any excess, and it did make them a little bit more colorful, and they're going to match that darker color of wood that we stained before. So it's going to go nicely right over here on the side where I have all this extra room, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue those in place, just kind of spacing them out by eye, just as even as I can get them. Great way to add a word to a sign, and you get that fun little Scrabble touch as well. So there he is, our little fall fox sign. Perfect size for a tier tray and super easy to DIY. We're going to put this right down here in the bottom in front of the post. Now, I also got one of the Dollar Tree foxes from Dollar Tree last year too, and this one has the little apple instead of the mushroom, so they did change them this year. Just now noticing that they're all holding different items, but otherwise they look really similar. And I'm just going to go ahead and update the color of this apple too, just because I did before. I just made it a little bit darker. Just personal preference. But you can totally use it, leave it bright red if you have one of these as well. I kind of like the items they're holding this year a little bit better. I did get some paint on my little fox. I'm going to have to clean him up a little bit. The fox is holding the mushroom this year, and the squirrel is holding the acorn, which makes a little bit more sense. But I think that looks really cute. So we're going to put him on the little woodland animal tier tray too. Down here on the bottom, opposite of our little hedgehog, going to make some room in the moss for him. And he's so cute with his little sleepy eyes. I think this tier tray is really coming together. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off with a little bit more moss I had left over just to make sure it is nice and full. And I think it really reminds me of the woods with our little tree. We have an owl, a squirrel, 2 squirrels, some foxes, a hedgehog. I love it. If you're enjoying today's video, don't forget to hit that like button. It always helps my videos do better here on YouTube. Okay, the next theme is Farm Fresh Pumpkin. So I really wanted to do a farm theme for fall, and I think this one turned out really fun. So I'm going to use one of these little windmill signs from the Dollar Tree. And I don't really want the welcome sign on there, and I don't really want it to be a hanging sign. I wanted to kind of decorate the middle tier with the little windmill. And so I'm just trying to peel off the little welcome sign from the bottom, but leave the rest of it intact. So I did that with a pair of pliers and a little bit of heat. It was a little bit of elbow grease to get this off, but totally doable. Just be careful that when you're working with metal like this, that you don't cut yourself. And that left me the perfect piece to DIY the top of my tier tray. Sometimes I like to put something fun at the top of it to set the theme, and a windmill is perfect. I love the galvanized metal too, and I just use some twine to tie it right there to the hook on the top of my tier tray, and it starts a perfect theme, right? Now, for the next thing, we're going to do a little farmer's market rooster stencil from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree and any kind of house sign. I picked this one because I thought it kind of looked like a barn. This is one of the Shore Living's house signs. I just removed the little sticker there on the top. So we can paint this and then do a hand-painted sign. So I am going to use this color. I think this is the Caribbean blue color. And I'm just going to go ahead and tape off the roof so I can leave that nice wood color. And then we are just going to paint this until I get a really good coverage over all the writing that was on there. It took about 3 coats of acrylic. And touching it up a little bit there for any areas that the painter's tape might not have done a great job on. And then I love this stencil. It's so cute. It's a perfect size for this to make a little barn. And even though I'm doing a farm theme, I'm throwing in blue because I love blue and I'm not afraid to use it for fall, but you can make your barn whatever color you want for your decor. So I just tape it on. This is definitely not self-adhesive. And then I am going over with the original color first to try to help avoid bleeding. And then we are going to paint the farmer's market sign on there with some ivory acrylic and a little stencil dauber from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to distress this. I want it to be very coastal farmhouse, so definitely doesn't have to be perfect. I know my stencil's not super tight on there. And that gave me a great white canvas, right? And I'm going to follow that up with orange. So this is like orange mixed with the ivory to give me a light orange color just to do the rooster to make it, stand out a little bit from the rest of the design. And then once I get it all on there, I remove the stencil. We are just going to distress it very lightly with some ivory just to make it look a little bit aged. And I distressed the wood roof of the barn too. And this is going to be a nice tall piece to put on the tier tray. You'll be able to see it in the back of the tier tray. So I put a little Five Below Jenga block on the back just because it kind of wanted to tip over a little bit on me to make it a little bit more stable. And you guys know I love these straw bales. I've used them on every tier tray so far, haven't I? Another one of these from the Dollar Tree for this farm theme. And some more pumpkins. This is a little Dollar Tree one and a Dollar Spot one. I painted the Dollar Tree one to make them a little bit better color of orange. And that's going to give these little pumpkins some height back here in the back of the tier tray. And this farm fresh fall theme that I was going for on this tier tray turned out really cute. This is just an orange pumpkin dish that I found at Dollar Tree. And we're definitely using orange on this one. So I thought maybe we could stand it up here in the front, kind of leaning it against the little pole in the middle of the tier tray. Now, since we're doing a farm theme, I thought it'd be fun to use some of the little, what are they called? Fairy Garden. Fairy Garden farm supplies. So this is their little tractor, but I wanted to go with my color scheme of the orange and blue. So I just used like this light orange acrylic, and I am just repainting my tractor. I'm not going to paint like any details on that, but I do want my tires to remain black. So I'm just going to go in and touch them up anyway. Their paint jobs are never great anyway, and I just want a little orange tractor with black wheels, nothing fancy, but it's going to go with my color scheme. And we'll put that right there in front of our little blue barn. And then they also had this little Fairy Garden farm truck full of bales of hay on the back. And so again, it was a little red truck, and I'm just going to update it with that Caribbean blue color so it matches the blue theme we have on this tier tray. I always try to pick a color scheme of like maybe 3 colors to do most items on the tier tray, and it really makes them go well together. So there's our little farm truck right over here with the hay bales. And then they also had like little chickens and chicks. They also have little teeny tiny pigs and hay bales. There's all kinds of really cute little fall fairy garden items that you can find at the Dollar Tree. They even have some crops. So I thought that'd be fun to kind of, dress up this top tier. They're nice and little, so they make perfect little tiny miniature filler for a tier tray. So you can definitely use these tiny items on a tier tray. You don't have to do like a little tiny fairy garden with them. They can totally add some fun little effects. I'm going to kind of decorate the front part of the tier tray with those so you can see them with all the larger items behind. And then these are some of the little pumpkins from the Target Dollar Spot like we used earlier. And I'm just going to use those for filler to fill out the rest of the top of this tier tray. And then also some of the little orange burlap pumpkins from the Dollar Tree as well. To mix it up, I like all different shades of orange and textures as well. So I think that looks pretty cute, our top tier, and we can start DIYing the bottom tier. Now I picked up these great like blue, white, and orange napkins at the Dollar Tree. And I also picked up one of these little dry erase easels. I love using the little easels because they make perfect signs for a tier tray. They're just the right size. And we are going to decorate the dry erase with just a napkin. So we're going to do a really simple decoupage here. They have the most beautiful fall napkins, lots of great ideas for a fall tier tray. And I just cut it in half and then separate the different layers because you want to get it down to 1 ply. It's going to make it Mod Podge a lot better. I do a very thin coat of Mod Podge all over the little dry erase board, and then I just sit the napkin right on top, lining it up exactly where I want it, leaving the sides on there because it helps to position it a little bit, and smoothing it all out. trying to work with it as little as possible so that I don't get any ripping. And then I just use a sanding block to cut off the excess napkin around all 4 sides once it's dry. And such a cute little pumpkin sign for a tier tray. I'm going to seal it now that it's dry with another thin coat right on top. And I love decoupaging with napkins. It's so fun. And look how pretty that turned out. You would have no idea that was like a little dry erase board. It's a perfect little sign here for the back. I also found this little, I guess they're like doorknob pillows from the Dollar Tree. And it says Happy Fall. It's got beautiful pumpkins all over and a burlap back. And I love using pillows for tier trays. They're a nice, fun surprise. And these are the perfect size. I'm going to put it back here. I actually had a little extra pumpkin sign that I used to help make it stand up a little bit straighter. And on to the next DIY. This is a little metal pumpkin sign from the Dollar Tree. It says Happy Fall and it has a little wheelbarrow on there. I thought that kind of looked fun for a farm. The colors kind of match, but not really the outer part. So I thought I would just paint that. And painted this like orange color to go with my orange and blue theme on this farm tier tray. As you can tell, the orange acrylic doesn't do a great job covering that dark color, but that's okay. I'll just repeat it with a couple of coats. And it's a farm theme, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but it definitely brightened up this little metal sign. And I thought that'd be great to kind of just lean against the little pole here in the middle of the tier tray. Super cute. Now, this chunky little pumpkin I got for $3 at the Target dollar spot. I love that it's wood with like the etching on there and the orange sides. So I thought that would be perfect right here in front, just because it's a little bit shorter. Just got to figure out which direction I want it. This is another one of the little fairy garden. This is like a little chicken coop maybe. So I thought that would be cute down here too, over here on the side. I got this little crate sign at the Target dollar spot for $1 that says pick your own pumpkins 25 cents, but it just kind of needs something. So I thought I would use some of these little Dollar Tree pumpkin stickers to just stick that to the front of that little crate. And what an easy, quick little sign for a tier tray. Pick your own pumpkins, 25 cents. Hey, that would be a bargain, right? And it's so tiny, it'll be great here right in front. I also found this great little pumpkin sign for $1 at Target dollar spot. And it's so small, it's going to be perfect right here to finish off the front of the bottom tier. And then you guys know I love lamb's ear. This is some of that lamb's ear from Walmart. And I am going to cut it down into some little sprigs that I can use for filler for my tier tray. And even though, you know, it's a farm theme, I really think the lamb's ear goes with any theme. It's just going to make it look fuller and fun. And I just kind of tuck those in any of the little areas that might need something. Filling in all the holes. And then maybe we just need like a few more pumpkins or something like that. So these are those burlap pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. I really love this color of orange. And we're going to use those for filler down there. And some of the little faux wool pumpkins, also from the Dollar Tree. These are super cute and fuzzy orange little pumpkins. They make great filler as well. I love a good fall tier tray because it's going to last you all the way through Thanksgiving. So you're not going to be switching it out anytime soon. And if you do a fall tier tray, be sure to post it over in our Facebook group. I would really love to see what you come up with. All right, now the next fall tier tray I have for you, my theme was like green and orange. I kind of love that soft green and orange together with pumpkins. Okay, the next tier tray, we're actually going to put it together. This is a tier tray that I have in my Amazon shop listed below. I love the rectangular tier trays, and this one is great because it's white. And it's distressed, so it goes great with like coastal farmhouse. I wanted to show you how easy it is to put these together. I've bought a couple of these off Amazon. They're not too expensive, and I think it's easier, better quality than trying to make them myself, because I always love a big tier tray because I can fit some larger items on it. So that's all there is to it. You just have to follow the directions, put the pieces on in order, and screw the nut on the bottom, and we have a tier tray. This one I bought for my kitchen. It works perfect on my kitchen counter. I can kind of sit it over in the corner, and that is what we are decorating today for a fall tier tray. Okay, this is the lamb's ear that I get at Walmart. I used to get it there before Dollar Tree started carrying it, and this is the garland that I just cut down into 4 pieces to make it easier to decorate a tier tray with. And so we're just going to use those nice large pieces of the lamb's ear to get us started on the top tier. Again, we're going to use one of these little hay bales. I always pick these up from the Dollar Tree every year because they are so great for tier trays. They are just the perfect size. But as you can see, they are super messy. I put down a cutting board first, so that would be really easy to take that to the trash can. And that's going to give us some height here in the back of the tier tray. And this tier tray is sitting here on my kitchen counter, right here in the corner. Now, these little pumpkins I got for $1 a piece at Target. I got like some pumpkins and a gourd. And I got these last year or 2 gourds. I got these last year at Target Dollar Spot. I'm not sure if I've seen them this year, but they're really pretty. I also got this like little mint green one. And we're just going to kind of pile some pumpkins around. Pumpkins sitting up on the hay bale, a smaller one here in front. And then these are from the Target Dollar Spot for $1. They're so cute. And I love like the straw-like texture on that one. We're going to pile those up top. Next item is a little pie tray that says Happy Fall from the Dollar Tree. The colors are perfect. My theme on this one, I wanted to do a lot of the orange and the mint green or blue pumpkins and make it really pretty. This is also from the Target Dollar Spot, a little Hello Fall sign that I got there last year for $1. And the color is perfect. I don't even have to make the sign. We're going to put that right here in front on the top of the tier tray. And these are we're going to use the rest of these little ones that I got at Target. The colors are perfect. I didn't have to paint anything. And then I picked up these little orange burlap pumpkins from Dollar Tree. And I love the burlap on those. I think those are really pretty. So very easy filler for a tier tray. And I don't really appreciate the plastic stems, but we'll make it work. And then I also got some Dollar Tree acorns because we were going for that general kind of fall theme. And I thought these would make great filler as well. And I like these better than the wood ones because you don't have to paint them, and that is just a step saved. So let's fill up the top of the tier tray with some of those little burlap pumpkins and acorns. Make sure that it is nice and full. And that's what I mean about these fall tier trays being easy. A lot of these items are already available. And remember the lamb's ear, we're going to use more of that down here on the bottom tier. I really appreciate a 2-tier tier tray because they're really so simple to decorate. The 3 tiers take a little bit more crafting. Now, this is a little creamer that I got at Dollar Tree. I wanted to show you how easy it is to remove the paint on there. I don't really want mine to have the little rooster on there, so I just use some fingernail polish remover and a paper towel and wipe off the paint. Then I can decorate it however I want. I love these little creamers, and since this tier tray is going in my kitchen, I think a little creamer is perfect. Just a little bit of elbow grease to remove all of the paint, And then for a very easy DIY on that, I'm actually just going to use a window cling to decorate that. And Dollar Tree has some really great ones. And the one I'm going to use for this one, I think, is this little gourd one. It's a perfect size. The colors are perfect for what we're going for today. And I definitely like the little white creamer for this. I wanted everything to be very like whites, the oranges, the blues, the straw colors. Really reminds me of fall. Now, I just went ahead and put it on there on its own, and it didn't want to stick too well, so I took a baby wipe to get it a little bit wet, the ceramic, and then it stuck on there way better because I just wanted a very temporary solution on there so that I could always reuse this creamer for another tier tray. We're going to put this one right down here on the side. Super cute. And I also have some more of these. I have this gourd left from Target Dollar Spot. We're going to kind of sit that one there next to it, which kind of matches it. Now for the next DIY, I'm going to use one of these little wood bins, I guess, from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to remove the little metal label holder on this. And then it's super easy to make this into a custom sign. It's going to stand up nicely. And we're just going to decorate the back or the bottom, I guess, of the little bin. But first, I just have to remove all the labels and stuff that's on there. Sometimes you definitely have to use some Goo Gone if you get a little bit of goo back there. And clean this up and we can make a fun little sign. So I'm going to start with some ivory acrylic and just paint that sign. It's going to give me kind of a blank canvas. And then I'm just going to make a really easy little fall sign using a window decal from the Dollar Tree. Whenever I see them in shapes like this with the squares and the rectangles, it is perfect. Look how many small signs you can make with just one sheet of window cling. So this one says Hello Autumn. I like the orange color. And it fits perfectly on this size of bin. So you can definitely use these little bins for signs. They definitely have thick sides, so they're going to stand up nicely. I just do a thin coat of Mod Podge and lay my little window cling on there, making sure that I smooth it out with dry fingers. And while it's still wet, you can kind of reposition it to get out any bubbles or anything like that. You can always use a scraper too if you need to. And then I'm just going to Mod Podge over the top of it. That's going to help seal it on, but it's also going to take away the shininess of the window cling. So I dried it and went on with a second coat. And there is our little custom Hello Autumn sign with the wood sides. So cute. And I wasn't sure if you were going to be able to see it. So I'm just going to boost mine up with one of those little Jenga blocks from Five Below so that you can see it back here in the back of the bottom of the tier tray. Now the next DIY, I picked these little dollar signs up on clearance at Target Dollar Spot. So I usually get them for like 50 cents or so, but I love them because they're super tiny and sometimes it's hard to find a really tiny sign. Now I'm just going to paint over whatever was on there, hot coffee or something like that. And I'm just doing that with white acrylic too. And we're going to make another super easy little custom sign for our fall tier tray. Again, a layer of Mod Podge first. And then I can just peel and stick the little window decal that I want right on the front. And for this one, I thought we would do the greenish color. So this one says sweater weather and pumpkin spice, please. It's a tiny bit too big, but no big deal. You can always just trim them down to size and smooth that out. And we have another super easy little custom sign. I always seal them though with Mod Podge, because I don't want that shiny plastic feel of the decal for sure, and I don't want them falling off. And I love how like that mint green color and the oranges work really well with this, especially on a white tier tray. It really makes them pop. I just used a sanding block to cut off any of the excess window decal that was kind of sticking off the sides on that one. And super cute. I don't know if it's sweater weather here in Florida, but I can pretend, right? We like to always travel for the fall so that we can see the leaves turning somewhere. I also found this cute little cutting board for $1 at Target Dollar Spot that says carve pumpkins, drink coffee. What was the last thing it said? And then I'm going to boost that up with one of those little blocks as well, kind of hiding those underneath the lamb's ear so they're not super obvious. Oh, it says enjoy fall. Perfect. Now this is going to be a very easy little Dollar Tree candle makeover. I found like a little tiny mint green jar candle from the Dollar Tree, and I am just going to peel the sticker off the front, and then we are just going to make our own little custom candle by cutting down one of the decals. If you find that they're too big, you can always just cut them down to whatever you want. I'm just going to cut out this little square here because it had this great little circle of like pumpkins and gourds in it. And I really just want the circle. I kind of want it to look like a little stamp for the front of the candle. And since it's a glass candle and this is a window decal, all you have to do is peel and stick this on the candle. Super easy. So even if your decals are way too big, you can always use pieces of them just like this. And it's such a faster way to DIY than having to make your own for sure. So I just smoothed that on the front. The color is perfect. And I love these little jar candles. I think they're so cute. I'm going to put this one right here in front of the little cutting board sign. And then I also got this little, is it a pumpkin or an apple? Sign from the Target dollar spot for $1. And I just took the tag off the back, and I thought we'd use these great rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree to decorate it. The colors are perfect for what we were going for. The blue or the green, white, and orange pumpkins. And I thought this little 3 pumpkins would be great. I just peel and stick this on this little blank sign. I think it's actually an apple, but that's okay. It had the perfect mint green sides, so I thought it would work well for this. Maybe it'll look like a pumpkin now that we're adding a pumpkin to it, right? And as you can see, this tier tray was so easy to put together too, with just some items from the Dollar Tree and the Dollar Spot. Don't sleep on the Dollar Spot. Sometimes they have stuff cheaper than the Dollar Tree, like this one. Super cute and easy. And we're just going to put that in the front because he's kind of a little guy right there. And then I also got this pumpkin. I love this green pumpkin at the Target dollar spot for $3. It's that same like raffia wrapped, but it's like dyed this like mint green color. And it's got like a twine pumpkin stem. So cute. And I'm going to put that little find right over here to fill out the bottom of the tier tray. Trying to move everything around so that I can make sure that I can see it. We're going to use some of those vine balls, this time the ones that are in tan from the Dollar Tree, for a little filler on this one as well. The color works perfectly. Just kind of pile those around anywhere where I think we might need one. And then some more of the burlap pumpkins that we used for filler on the top. I'm going to kind of scatter those around the tier tray as well. I hope you're getting lots of fun crafting inspiration for your fall tier tray in today's video. Now, I also decided to use some of these little burlap pumpkins from the Dollar Tree by removing the clips on the bottom of them. And I think maybe I need one right about here. Pumpkins are perfect for fall filler because it totally goes with your theme and they come in all different sizes. And then remember, we also had the acorns that we used for filler on the top. We are going to use those for fillers here on the bottom too, just sprinkling those kind of all over. They're nice and small. And this is how it turned out, our fall tier tray for the kitchen. guys, have you checked out my new website yet? It's craftybeach.net. I'm going to archive all my YouTube video crafts over there, and you can pin all the ideas on Pinterest so you can remember to go back and make them. Okay, the next fall tier tray theme I have for you is apples. I think that's a really fun theme for fall. Enjoy. I found this great little cast iron apple. What is this called? An apple press? It was like cast iron. It was a little beat up. And so I'm just going to clean it up with some paint like we did before. I'm doing ivory first on the areas that were kind of wooden and brown. And then I can go back over that with some brown to touch that up. I'm also touching up any of the black cast iron because it was a little bit rusted with a black paint pen. I think the piece is really cute, so I thought it would be perfect for a tier tray. And like I'm saying, like apples, thrifted, definitely can find some cool stuff. Now for that wood grain, I'm just dragging Antique Wax by Waverly over the areas that we painted ivory. And it's just going to clean that up. Any of the areas of it that weren't beat up, I kind of left it as is. I'm just trying to kind of make it look a little bit cleaner. I don't want really any rust on there because this tier tray is going in my kitchen for fall. I thought the apples could use a little brightening up, so I'm just going to go in and touch those up as well. The red apples kind of make them pop. And I got a little bit of Antique Wax by Waverly on them, I think, and maybe some of the apple leaves. So I'm going to kind of clean those up as well with some fresh paint. But I think this is going to look really cute on my tier tray, and it's kind of the star of the show. Maybe a little bit more caramely color on my wood to kind of make it all go together. And a little bit more black on the bucket. I think it's so cute. I love how it turned out. Okay, for the next apple tier tray item, I thought we would use one of these little plastic jars from the Dollar Tree and fill it up with these little wood apples. I love these. They also have these like in mushrooms this year. I think they're so fun for fall. I'm just going to go in with some crimson chalk paint and paint all of our apples red. I thought I could do like a jar of apples. I ended up not liking it though, and it ended up taking it in a different direction and just decided to do like a wood bin from the Dollar Tree full of apples, like something that you would like find at a farm. I did all of the stems brown too, just to kind of make them stand out. This was a jar, didn't like it, so I grabbed one of these little wood bins. These are great for tier trays. They're the perfect size. And I don't like the natural wood, so I'm just going to stain it all over with some Antique Wax by Waverly. And then we can use one of those little fall signs for the front of that. We can just do a wooden crate full of apples. I think that's going to be perfect for fall decor. It's just a matter of getting all the different areas of the crate stained. And then for the Farm Fresh, the little wood sign from the Dollar Tree, I just give that a quick paint job with some ivory paint and then hot glue that to the front of this bin. It's a perfect size. Now I want to fill it up with hay for a filler. So I'm going to use one of these little hay bales from the Dollar Tree and unwind it to fill it up with hay. And then I can fill it in with apples, and it can have the hay kind of peeking out from underneath. But I made a huge mess with that, so maybe not. Now I get this for 99 cents at Goodwill too. It is a little kitchen timer that's like a little barrel of apples. And since this tier tray was going in my kitchen, I thought a little kitchen timer would be perfect. I love it. And then I also found, this is like a tier tray starter pack from Target Dollar Spot. And the reason I wanted to open this one is because it had a little pick your own apple sign in there. And so that's what we're going to use for our tier tray. Now it's time for a DIY. I saved a little pie tin from a little pie, like one of those little snack pies, to make a faux apple pie. And then using some felt from the Dollar Tree, I picked out 3 colors that were similar to what I wanted for a pie. And I just cut out a circle shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of hot glue that to the top of the little pie tin for our like dough for our crust of our apple pie. And then I picked out like this caramely color of felt, and I'm just going to cut down little strips to do like the little lattice on the top of a little apple pie. And I think this turned out so cute, and it was so fun to make. So I did 3 strips across, and then I'm going to do like 3 strips going the other direction, and we can kind of weave those in like you would do an apple pie. Actually, I think only 2 is probably going to fit that direction. And I also wanted to do the crust for around it, like the perimeter. So I just cut out another piece of that, the same size as the little pie dish. And we are just going to cut that out. And I just want a ring though. I don't want like a whole circle like that, because I want you to be able to see the softer color of ivory underneath of it. So I just cut out a little ring shape by cutting another circle like right inside, and that's going to kind of seal in my pie crust and make it look golden brown, like something that came out of the oven. So I just use hot glue to attach that first. Kind of like that, and then we can start doing our little lattice by hot gluing the strips on. I do one side at a time. That way I can do the weaving pattern on the top of our little apple pie, and then we can always trim it down later. So the 3 pieces going this way, I just hot glue them to that crust that we made, and then I'm going to switch directions, go this way, weave it in between, and hot glue that to the other side. This was so easy to make, and it turned out so cute. And I'm going to make it not so flat either. I kind of want it to look like a nice full apple pie, and I'll show you how I do that as well. Now I can glue down these strips since I've already weaved it in. And then we can just trim off the excess felt after that. I really love how this one turned out. And again, I don't want it to be super flat like that. So to fix that, I just kind of pulled up an edge and took some pillow fluff and just kind of stuffed it so it looks like it's raised a little bit in the middle and not quite so like flat on top. And there's our little apple pie. Now, I found this for 99 cents at Goodwill, another apple. So if you can't find them at Dollar Tree, be sure to check Goodwill, because these things have been decorating kitchens for years. There's so many great apples out there. So I love it. I think the color is perfect. It's kind of like a rubbery glass. It's kind of hard to explain. And then I wanted to do a little chalkboard for the like apple pie, kind of advertising apple pie for the kitchen. And I have this little white framed chalkboard. I think I got this at Dollar General for $1, but I know they have these at Dollar Tree too. This one was just about the perfect size for what I wanted, but I didn't want it to be white. So I just stained all of the white part with some antique wax by Waverly, and we're going to make a really cute little easy chalkboard advertising apple pie at this kitchen. Now for chalk, I'm just going to use a white paint pen. You could always use chalk if you wanted to. And I'm going to put like today's pie, kind of like you would have in a diner. And then I'm going to put apple for the flavor. And then I'm going to use one of those little apple pie wood. I guess they're like clothespins from the Dollar Tree. But I just want the cute little apple pie out there. So I'm just going to use some pliers to try to take the clothespin off the back. Sometimes those come off easily. Sometimes they kind of fight you. And then I give it a quick stain with some antique wax by Waverly. And then we are just going to kind of hand paint this with some paint pens. We have like a little red apple here. And then I'm going to paint my pie to look really cute as well. And we can attach that to our little chalkboard. And I think this turned out so sweet. I just use different colors of like white and tan. Kind of want it to look old and distressed as well. And then I go over the whole thing with some more antique wax by Waverly. And we're just going to glue it in the corner of our little tripod chalkboard, and it's ready to go. Now I thought it would be cute to do a little truck with an apple in the back. So I'm going to use some of those little wooden apples from the fall section at Dollar Tree again. and one of the little wood trucks from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. And I wanted to do a chunky, large apple in the back, just one. And so I'm going to do that by gluing 3 of those little wooden apples together to make a nice chunky piece to put in the back of our truck. Now, I'm not really going to change the construction of that truck. It's kind of like held together by 2 little sticks, but we're going to make this work. I think this is really cute. And you can kind of decorate this truck for whatever you want. I thought we would do a nice bright red apple and then do a green truck. And I think it's going to look really cute for fall. The only tricky part is painting this truck is that you kind of have to paint like the inside and all the different structures because you're going to be able to kind of see it sitting on a tier tray. So I paint both sides, inside and outside. Trying to make sure I don't get any paint in any of the cutouts either. But isn't that a cute little truck? You guys know I love decorating with trucks. I think they're so fun. It must be because when I was little, I lived on a farm in Missouri. So I also paint the stem of the apple that same color green. And then I'm just going to add a little jute twine bow here to decorate our apple just for fun. And then I thought we would just glue the apple in the back of the pickup truck. I did notice it needed kind of a little bit of a spacer. So I'm going to use just one of those little wood cubes from the Dollar Tree. Paint it green so you can't really see it. And glue that onto that little crossbeam. And it leaves me like a little slot here where I can glue our apple in place, kind of askew like that. And I think this turned out so cute. Our little green farm truck with an apple in the back. Isn't that cute? I think it's so fun. Okay, the next DIY was super easy. I got some of these little plastic to-go coffee cups from Dollar Tree, and I thought we could do like a really quick like DIY cider. And I used some Dollar Tree red vinyl, not my favorite, and cut out hot cider in the skinny, which is that font that's very similar to the Ray Dunn font. And we're just going to add that to the back of the coffee cup. I did try to remove like the writing that was on there with some fingernail polish remover, but it was on there to stay because, you know, it is a coffee cup because they consider people to wash it, you know. So I'm just going to put it on the back. You'll never know because that'll be on the back of my tier tray. And I just use my paper transfer paper to attach that. And we have a cute little hot cider cup. It's going to be a nice tall piece for the back of my tier tray, and it's super easy. And then I also found this apple. It's like a wooden apple from the Dollar Tree. It was a little darker than I wanted. And since it's wood, I can just paint it. And so I go over the whole thing with some crimson. And I kind of wipe off the excess with a paper towel to kind of give it like that model appearance like an apple would have. You know, you could always decorate with real apples. I guess they wouldn't last that long, but maybe they would. But I think this turned out super cute. Just a quick little thrift flip apple. And then our next DIY, I always like to do like a little greenery piece for my tier tray. So I'm going to use one of these little wood box apples from the Dollar Tree. I painted the front of it bright red, and then I'm staining the rest of the little box with Antique Wax by Waverly. I just want it to look nice and rustic, little apple planter box. And so I'm just trying to cover up any of the areas you might be able to see. I just went ahead and stained the inside too, just to kind of finish it off. I also distressed the red part with that Antique Wax by Waverly to kind of give it that weathered look too. And then I'm just going to fill the little box up with some floral foam from Dollar Tree and just fill it up with these little red mini mums from Dollar Tree as well. A cute little fall flower, but the red is definitely going to go with the apple colors. And I think that looks really cute. I'm going to add some of the greenery in there too to fill it out. And we have a little floral piece for my apple tier tray in this cute little apple box. I don't often know what to do with these little wood boxes from Crafter Square, but I think this was actually a good use for it. I do tie some twine onto the apple stem, tie a sweet little bow in front, and I think this little DIY is ready to go. Isn't it cute? And we're almost ready to put this tier tray together, but I also wanted to decorate the area around my tier tray. So I got this great barrel from Goodwill. Look at this. It's perfect for apples. And we were talking about decorating with real apples, so we might as well. It's fall. I bought a bag of apples, and we're just going to fill that little thrift find barrel with apples. And this can decorate my kitchen counter next to my little apple coffee bar for fall. And I love this. It is so high quality, and I just got it for a couple of dollars. You never know what you're going to find at the thrift store. Now, these pieces I'm just going to do for risers because sometimes things can get hidden on tier trays. So I stained a giant Jenga block from Five Below and some of these little chunky wood rounds from Dollar Tree with some antique wax by Waverly. I'm going to be decorating a wood tier tray, so that wood stain is going to kind of blend in, but I can raise some of those pieces up so that you can see them. I also have some hooks on my kitchen wall behind my tier tray. And so the next DIY is for that. I took one of these little metal, cookie sheets from the kitchen aisle at the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to cut an apple shape out of that. We're going to decorate this little apple sign from Dollar Tree. It doesn't matter which one you get, because we're going to cover it all up. And I just kind of traced that out so I could cut this out. It's going to give that apple sign such a fun texture. And what I'm going for is like a old rusty metal looking apple sign. So that is what we're going to do here. So I just cut my apple shape out. And then I'm actually going to attach it, I think, to the back, just in case you can see any of the edges around it, that you'd be able to see the brown and not the black. So just trimming it a little bit more to make sure it is perfect. This already has like a metal bow on it, so that kind of goes with it, right? I just attach the little tin to it with hot glue. Kind of have to be careful using hot glue on that. You might want to use a different kind of glue, but if you work quickly, I didn't have any problems with mine, but sometimes the hot glue can harden up. Then I trim it all around to make sure I don't have any like going over the edges, and make sure that it is all down and flat by gluing that to the edges. Now, there was one area here that I probably melted a little bit with the glue. I didn't get it on quite perfect, but I thought we could use one of those little wood signs from the Dollar Tree to kind of disguise that. And I also want to do something with the apple stem. So I just take some Dollar Tree twine, tie that on there, wrap that all the way around. To finish that off, I also make a quick little hanger for the back out of the twine and attach it with hot glue. I'm going to stain a little welcome fall sign to kind of go over the area there that kind of got damaged. And then I use antique wax by Waverly to kind of make it look rusty. So I do that by going around all the edges that you can kind of see peeking out. It's going to kind of frame out our little apple sign. And then I'm also going to try to age it a little bit with that too. So I hot glue our little welcome fall right here underneath our leaf. I turned my leaf around so the green part was on front. And then I used that antique wax by Waverly, just kind of stippled it all over to kind of give it like a rusty appearance, just wiping off any excess with a paper towel. And that is how it turned out. So let's put this apple tier tray together. There's the little apple press that we tied to the ring. And we're going to put like the flowers in the back as well as our little cup of hot cider. Our little Today's Pie apple sign right here. So next to that, of course, we'll have to put this cute little apple and then the star of the show, our little DIY apple pie. I love that. And it goes perfect next to that little chalkboard. Now for the bottom, we have that little Target pick your own apple sign. We have our wood bin full of farm fresh apples. You can't really see that sign, so that's one reason I made the little spacers that I stained to kind of perk that up so you can see it. And that apple from Goodwill too, you couldn't really see that, so I used a couple of those little risers to lift that up as well. I love the little apple kitchen timer, and here's our little DIY green truck with a big chunky apple in the back. And then I thought some of these little vine balls from Dollar Tree would look really kind of cute. Kind of matches like the wood and stuff we've got going around. And I needed like just a little bit of filler here and there on my tier tray to fill it up. And then I have some greenery left over too from a Dollar Tree plant. And I'm just going to kind of use that for scatter too to kind of look like apple leaves. Just to fill in any of the dead space areas there on my tier tray and make it look nice and full. Now, I told you I was going to decorate the area around, so here is our big wood barrel full of real apples. I'm going to sit that next to my tier tray, and then that cute little metal apple sign, I'm going to kind of hook that here behind it, kind of a side decoration, just another fun apple DIY, and I love how that turned out. Hey guys, be sure to join our Facebook group. It's linked in the description so you can share your DIYs. I would love to see your tier tray or what kind of fall DIYs you've been working on. Now for the next theme for a tier tray, we're going to do back to school. I thought this was kind of a whimsical theme for fall, but really fun to do and has one of my favorite DIYs. We are going to use dollhouse furniture from the toy aisle at Dollar Tree. How cute is this little desk and chair? I think dollhouse furniture are perfect to decorate a tier tray because they're already small and perfect. I kind of love them already just raw wood like that, so we're going to leave those as is. Now, I'm going to decorate my desk with little back to school items. This is one of the little wood dominoes from the Dollar Tree, and they're very thin. They cut just like popsicle sticks. You could totally do the same thing with popsicle sticks because these seem to be hard to find anymore at Dollar Tree. But basically, I just cut down 2 rectangular sizes, and we're going to make a cute little miniature laptop for our back to school tier tray. So easy peasy, all I'm going to do is paint the little rectangles black. One of them will have to be painted front and back because when the laptop is open, you'll be able to see the other side of it. And again, these are so lightweight, just like popsicle sticks. So very easy to put this together. I'm just going to glue the one down that I didn't paint the back of. That's going to be the bottom of my laptop. And this is very easy to hot glue, just like in a 90-degree angle, just to make it look like the little laptop is open. And I don't know about you, but I really love crafting a miniature like this. It's really a lot of fun. You can get really creative. Now for the keys of the laptop, I just do I had a metallic silver paint pen and I just put little dots on there to kind of simulate the little computer keys on there. And then I thought that looked good. So I'm using that metallic silver and I'm just going to edge out my laptop too, just to give it a little metallic border all the way around that can sometimes be on laptops. And I thought that looked pretty cute. I'm also going to draw a rectangle on the screen there. And then I'm going to use a couple more little pieces of the wooden dominoes. And we are just going to make a couple of like notebooks or textbooks to lay on the desk. I think that's going to go really cute for back to school. Just trying to get them as square as I can get them. I find the best way to cut popsicle sticks in these is just with a pair of scissors. And I do want them to have a little bit of color. So I'm just going to paint one red. And when you're working with a really small miniature like this, paint pens are the way to go. You don't have to dirty a paintbrush or anything like that. So I'm going to do one red and one blue little books. And I kind of like the fact that they're different colors. I'm just going to stack them. I hot glue everything down so that if my tier tray gets bumped, it's not going to be all falling apart and having to be put back together. Now, I thought a pencil would be really cute too. So I have some of these little skewers from the Dollar Tree and I just cut the tip off. So I have like the pointy end and we're going to DIY that into an adorable little pencil. I just used my yellow paint pen and we're going to paint the whole thing yellow. And then my black paint pen to paint the lead on the end of my pencil. And I even have a pink paint pen. So I'm able to even put a little tiny pink eraser on the end. And how adorable is that little tiny pencil? I'm going to hot glue that right next to our notebooks. And here it is. We have our first DIY for our back to school tier tray. Now, this one is one of my favorite DIYs I think I've ever done on this channel. We are going to make a school bus. So hang on. We're going to use this little wood crate from the Dollar Tree. And that's going to be the body of the bus, but I need to construct a hood. So I'm just using some jumbo popsicle sticks and the little Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree. And I'm just putting those there. I glue like 3 of them together and then put like one of the popsicle sticks on the front to kind of be the front part of like the hood of the school bus. And then I'm going to use another one to form the section coming out from the windshield, the actual hood. So I did kind of struggle on getting this one just right. I put down one of the Jenga blocks flat and one sitting up like that, and I glued that together. Now, the only problem I didn't like is it didn't really want to stay on too well, and I thought, that my windshield was not quite as big as I wanted it to be. So I'm going to act quickly, pop that back off, and I'm just going to glue that same little Jenga block back down, but down. So I'll show you here how that's kind of put together too. And then I kind of had to trim down this popsicle stick to make it a little bit thinner. So they're just laying flat on top of each other now. And now I can glue my popsicle stick right in place. I had kind of looked all over for a little school bus to use for my tier tray for back to school. And they're all really expensive, all the ones I found. Like I think Target had one for like $10. And I was like, I bet I could build a school bus. And this is so cute. I even personalized this to my son's school, and so he still has this in his room. I'm just going to cut out the little section here for the side of the hood area of the bus. And you can kind of see I'm just kind of using the actual existing structure for reference. I just need to cut this down. It's going to be a little slanted at one edge. And then I'll just use that for reference to cut down one of those kind of odd shaped pieces for the other side to box that in. And then like the bottom of the school bus will just be open in that little wood bin. Now I kind of need something to glue to it. So I used those little tiny wood cubes from the Dollar Tree and glued those to the Jenga blocks first. And then glued that piece right in place just for a little bit added stability there. And I know you're like, that doesn't look like a school bus at all. Just wait. Let me work my magic here. Okay, whenever I DIY these projects, I've done like a lot of vehicles and stuff like that. I think you really get a better looking product if you use masking tape. So I'm doing masking tape all the way around here. And that's going to help hold everything together, but it's also going to get rid of like the seams between the wood and the popsicle sticks and make it look more seamless. So I just cut pieces here, go around the hood area, kind of any of the cracks or areas between the popsicle sticks and the wood part. And this little school bus actually ends up to be really sturdy. It's actually functional. We're going to give it moving wheels, that little dump truck that you see there from the Dollar Tree. I'm also going to just tape in the hood area just to clean that part up a little bit and make it look a little bit better. So that's what we have so far. So let's start making this a little yellow school bus. I'm just using kind of a light yellow color, whatever I had that was a little bit close to the color of a school bus. And we are just going to paint our little school bus all over. I really love creating stuff like this. You would be amazed what you can make with just one of these little wood boxes from the Dollar Tree. I also use the masking tape to kind of close in the little hole in the back of the little crate, as you see right there. Does a great way of masking those on stuff like this. So I went over it with a solid 2 coats of yellow. One thing that I did notice is I kind of liked the look of the paper mache look of the masking tape a little bit better. So I decided to go ahead and add that to the area of the crate that I didn't before. So it would kind of have all the same finish. So I'm going to start here, go around those 2 little rows of the crate, cover that too. So I would suggest covering the whole thing with masking tape before you start painting. I had also not done the bottom, and so I'm going to go ahead and just cover that with masking tape too, because you know that kind of look when you paint paper mache, it looks a little different than when you're just painting raw wood, and I want this to kind of all blend together. So I taped off everything that I did not tape before, and then I'm just going over with that same yellow color and painting our little school bus. And we're going to decorate this, totally make this look like a real school bus, just by using a few little things from the Dollar Tree. So we've got it all painted yellow. I kind of like the surface better like this. There's a slight wrinkle to that paper mache look, but I think it actually looks really good once it dries. Now I am using just like a little knife here, kind of cutting the little ridges back in the side. I kind of like those, and I'm going to kind of use those in my design. And they were kind of covered up by the masking tape there. So just trying to make those a little bit more prominent by kind of sketching those back out. Now it's time to decorate. So a school bus has 2 black lines down there. That's one reason I wanted to clean that out. I just take a black paint pen and go down right there on the line. I kind of have to guess where it is here on the back because that ridge does not continue all the way around. I just used a ruler to kind of sketch that on there and filling those all in. Now I'm going to use some of those wood dominoes again. Again, you can use popsicle sticks for this. I thought this would be just about the right size for a little door to the school bus. So I just trimmed off the bottom of this, and I just found like the lightest blue color that I had to paint that to kind of give the simulation that the door is made out of glass. And then I'm going to use just a black paint pen and do like a little black seams for the door, like where it opens in the middle like a school bus, and just kind of sketch that out. I'm also going to do like just some diagonal lines to kind of give it the kind of cartoon look of glass. And then I'm also going to use a couple more of the popsicle sticks, and I'm going to paint them that same light blue color because a school bus needs windows too. And I'm going to take a third one, cut that down to size. That's going to be the windshield of our bus. And I'm going to paint that with the soft blue color as well. So there was lots of steps definitely involved in making the school bus, but I think it was totally worth it. For the windshield, I just used my black paint pen, and we're going to draw all around the edges, kind of give it that glass look too, like we did with the glass door. Then I'm just going to hot glue that right to the front of my school bus. And then flip it over. We're going to attach our little sliding glass doors right here. And then these are going to be windows. So I cut them blue all in once, and then I can just cut them down into little squares that I can use for windows to line our school bus. And I'm going to do some extra for the other side as well. And then I'm just going to outline them all in black too. I kind of like outlining them with a black. It kind of makes them pop a little bit in the final design. And then I'm just going to hot glue these on. On this side, I only had room for like 3 of the little windows because I had the door on that side. And then we're going to glue them here on the other side as well. And on this side, I had room for 4, so I went ahead and did 1 more to finish it out. Now I want to personalize it, and my son was going to Marine and Oceanographic Academy, which is abbreviated MOA, so I decided to personalize mine. Another fun touch, since it's your little school bus, you can do whatever you want on there, or you can just put school and kind of make it general. I also cut down one of those wood dominoes there to be a stop sign that you know is on a school bus that opens up. And then I flipped it over and put MOA on the other side as well. And then I used my black paint pen to draw like a little emergency exit on the back of a school bus. I was taking myself back to school, trying to remember everything that was on a school bus. Now I cut down some more of those light blue popsicle sticks that we painted to make some windows also for the back of the school bus. I think 2 windows back there will look better than just a back windshield. And then I'm also going to use some of these glass gems. I thought that would make a really fun little headlights for the bus because they're kind of made out of glass already. So I used my black paint pen and just paint a simple grill on there. And we cut down the little domino for a stop sign. And I'm going to paint that bright red as well. So now we can start putting all this stuff on. Here's the 2 little windows that we made for the back of the school bus. I use my red paint pen and just draw on some tail lights. Super easy to do, just 2 little circles there on the back bumper. I also do 2 here on the corners, like the little lights that flash when the bus is stopping. And then I'm just hot gluing those little glass gems from the Dollar Tree on the front for little headlights. And I really like that touch. I think those are really cute. So it's coming together. We're going to glue our little red stop sign right here. And then I'm going to use my white paint pen just to draw a stop on there, outlining it in white too. Super cute. And it just goes to show you with a paint pen, you really don't need a Cricut. You can totally freehand that stuff. Now I'm going to use the wheels off of one of these little dump trucks from the Dollar Tree. 2 of them are really easy to pop off. 2 of them are kind of hard, but you can get them to come off all in one piece like that. And then I'm going to use 2 wooden dowels from the Dollar Tree and some rubber bands from the Dollar Tree to make little wheels. So it's going to be little functional wheels that you can actually wheel the little school bus around. I just cut the little dowels down a little shorter because they were a little long. And then I'm going to hot glue those to the bottom of the school bus box there. That back axle is going to go about here. And then I'm going to do one in the front as well. This is the same way that I constructed the little red wagon for the 4th of July. And it worked so well, I wanted to try it again on the school bus. I'm going to do my second dowel right up there, flush with the side of the crate. Just making sure those are glued in place. Then you can just slide your little tire on. And then these little tiny rubber bands from the hair aisle at the Dollar Tree work great for this because you can secure the tire on there, but it can still turn. So that's why I'm using those. They kind of act like a pin, I guess. And they are really small, so it is a little tricky getting them on there, wrapping them around a couple times to get them tight. But I would definitely recommend rubber bands for this because it works really well. So I do the same thing here for all 4 of them. I think, okay, we got it. And look, it works. Adorable little school bus. I can't wait to show you how that looks on the back to school tier tray. Next up is a cheap little pencil pouch that I found at Target that looks like a giant pencil, so I thought that'd be really cute for a back to school. I'm just using a black paint pen and putting number 2 on there to kind of make it look like a real pencil. It's kind of made out of like a rubbery material, strong enough to stand up, but not real stiff, but I think that's going to be really cute, and it'll be a nice tall piece. for the tier tray. Now, back to school makes me think of chalkboards, and Dollar Tree has lots of little chalkboard options. I love this one because it's like an easel back, so it's going to stand up perfectly for a tier tray. And then I'm just going to use a white paint pen. You could also use white chalk for this. I want to give the appearance of chalk, and so I'm just going to put back to school on my little chalkboard. Kind of scream the theme of my little fall tier tray. And I think that looks pretty good, but I'm going to also go around the edges and with that same white, kind of make it pop, outline that, and just a really simple little sign for a back to school tier tray. They also have the dry erase boards, and we're going to use one of those today too, because that's something that you find a lot in classrooms anymore. This tier tray would be great for a teacher as well, or anyone with little kids around. The next idea I had was a globe, and I have a little foam cube dice from the Dollar Tree that I had painted white for another project and not needed it. So I'm going to use a little skewer from the Dollar Tree, cut that down to size, and just poke a hole in that to make a little stand. And we're going to make a little globe for like geography class. I found this great little foam play ball at Dollar Tree that looks like a globe of the earth. And so it's going to be really easy. I just stab it with the skewer. It's going to make a little spinny globe for a tier tray. I thought that was perfect. Now, I thought my little foam dice, or my little foam die was a little plain, painted just white. So I'm going to decorate it a little bit just to make it look a little fancier. I had a gold metallic marker, so I'm just kind of outlining the edges, kind of giving it metallic borders here, just to make it kind of look like a fancier globe. And then I decided to put geography on there, some little squiggles, and then also making the stand gold as well, just to make it look a little bit fancier. And I think it is ready to go. This was such an easy DIY, and it was just asking to be on a tier tray. Cute! Okay, also, I got some of these little crayon erasers from Target Dollar Spot. They're only $1, and I thought these would be perfect. They're little erasers, but they look like crayons, and I think these are going to be even easier to use than real crayons because I can kind of stand them up. They're pretty sturdy. They're super colorful, so I thought we could just stand them up like that. It's going to be a nice addition to the back to school tier tray. I was thinking about school supplies for some of the ideas. Now, I got this for 99 cents at Goodwill. These things are really easy to find at the thrift store because teachers get gifts like this all the time. But it says pens, pencils, and things. It's a little pencil holder. It's got rulers, apples on it. It just screams school. It looks like it's been well used as well. I'm going to use it for a little flower pot. I always like to do some kind of greenery on my tier trays, and I thought this would be the perfect thing to use. So I'm just cutting down some floral foam from the Dollar Tree just to fill it up. And then I'm also going to cover that up with just some reindeer moss so you don't see any of that foam. And then I'm just going to use some red carnations. I kind of wanted something like the color of apples. You could also fill it up with apples if you had some small enough. I have been able to get a few apples at the Dollar Tree recently, but they're too large to fill something like this up. But I thought the red against the yellow kind of really made it pop. And we're using a lot of primary colors with the back to school. So I think the red's going to be a nice little touch. I just fill up the whole little box with the red flowers, also adding some of the leaves in there just for a little bit of variety in color. So easy and perfect for a back to school tier tray. And then I also got this at the Target Dollar Spot, a little giant crayon, that body wash pen, but it looks like a giant crayon. So I thought that'd be a nice touch as well. And then they also have school glue on sale for like $1 back to school. So I picked up a bottle of school glue as well. And then they also have these little chalkboards at the Dollar Tree. And so I thought we could make something cute with that. Just like use my white paint pen or chalk and just put ABC on there. And then I got some of this ribbon from the Dollar Tree too. It's like a really great, like kind of primary colored stripe. And I thought we'd make a cute little just bow decoration for the top part of my tier tray. And we can just kind of close the bow up with the little chalkboard on the little clothespin. Just a little fun touch because I have a ring on the top of the tier tray that we're decorating today, and I thought that would be cute. And remember, before I said they also have dry erase boards, so I thought we could do the same thing that we did with the chalkboard. This time, make it look like you're using it for maybe math class. So just going to do some super easy, like kindergarten math problems on here, like some addition, some multiplication, some subtraction, just to kind of make it look like it's been used. And you can use dry erase for this, or I'm just using a paint pen because I didn't really care. But if you wanted to reuse it, you could definitely use a dry erase marker. And now it's time to put this tier tray together. This is the tier tray we're decorating today. My 2-tier rectangular wood tray that I got on Amazon. I have this linked in my shop below. I love this. It's such a great tier tray. I love the size. It fits on my entryway table, which is where I was decorating this. So the bottle of school glue, I can totally use that afterwards just for glue for crafting. So that is a no-brainer. Our cute little geography globe using the little ball from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to do the little dry erase board that we just put together back here. It's nice and tall. It's going to fill up a lot of that space on that side of my tier tray. I'm going to kind of just sit that at an angle so that you can kind of see that peeking out from behind the little flowers that we did in the little teacher pencil box. That is a really cute little pencil box. I wonder who made that originally. And next to that is my star of the show, our little DIY school bus. Absolutely adore that DIY. One of my very favorites. So fun to make. And then our giant crayon body wash can kind of stick out here from this side. And it's looking pretty full down here on the bottom tier. So let's move to the top tier and decorate it as well. I think we can fill this up nicely. I'm going to do the pencil pouch on top because it's so tall. It's going to need the height to stand that straight up. It's so tall that you can't even see the top of it. And then our little chalkboard back here to the side. There we go. Now we can see it. And then a few more items to decorate the top. I kind of want you to be able to read this, but I'm also needing it to kind of fit back there. So I was kind of limited on positioning that. And then next up, here's our cute little desk that we DIY'd a laptop, notebooks, a pencil, and our little desk chair as well. Those work really good in front of the chalkboard because they're nice and small. You can still read the back to school back there. And then remember the little pencil crayons. I'm just going to stand these up. If you can't find these, you could always use real crayons from the Dollar Tree. That would be super cute on a back to school tier tray as well. I'm just going to line mine up, kind of orderly like that. And then we made that little bow with the little chalkboard that I was telling you I wanted to decorate the very top. And so that's what we're going to clip on here to adhere this. Just another little chalkboard, a little ABC, another little fun touch with colors. The next fall tier tray I have for you is football and pumpkins. I really love football. As a lot of you guys know, go Chiefs. Enjoy. Okay, the next DIY is going to be football. So we're going to think football and pumpkins. I'm going to start with a few wood blocks. I needed something kind of sturdy. These are the giant Jenga blocks from Five Below. I had them previously already stained with some antique wax by Waverly, but not all the way around. So I'm just going to continue staining those to make little bases that are stained laying down flat like that. Everything but the bottom, I guess. And I just wanted something heavy to attach those little plastic field goal posts from Dollar Tree from the toy aisle. Now there's 2 in a package. They're kind of set up with suction cups, but I wanted mine to be a little bit more durable to use for a tier tray. So that is what we're going to use. Now I drilled a hole and I was just planning on just putting the little plastic piece right in there, but my drill bit wasn't quite big enough. And I didn't know how sturdy that would be. So I thought if I used a little wooden dowel from the Dollar Tree, it would make a little sturdier post. So that's what I'm going to do. I just drilled a hole right in the middle of both of those little blocks. And you can use any of the blocks from the Dollar Tree too. You just want a piece of wood that's going to be heavy. And then hot glue the little dowels right inside. Then you can slide the little field goal posts right down on top. I'm just going to trim my dowels up a little bit, and I'm also going to put a little hot glue on the end so they won't go anywhere. And we're going to do a little field goal post for each end of my rectangular tier tray, and we're going to kind of make that look like a football field. So the theme of this tier tray, of course, is football and pumpkins. We're going to kind of mix the two together for fall. Now, if you don't know me, I am a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. Yes, we are Super Bowl champions right now. So that's really awesome. So if you have a favorite football team, definitely personalize it. I just made these on my computer, did like a red background, made it go vertically like that. But if you don't, you could skip this step, or you could even personalize this for like high school team or whatever football team you like to cheer on. And I just used a glue stick to just glue those right to the plastic little field goal posts. And those are ready to go. Now for the football field, I have a piece of green felt that I got from a multi-pack at Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to draw lines on it to represent the football field. And I just kind of measured out like every inch. And then I'm just using my white paint pen just to draw the lines on there. It was a little tricky to use the paint pen on the felt. As you can see, it kind of wanted to just to fade in there a little bit, but this is going to give me a good start for a little football field to cover the bottom of my tier tray. Because again, I'm doing the rectangular tier tray. And so if I put one of those field goal posts at each end, I think it's going to look really cute. So I decided to switch it up here and use a kind of stronger white paint pen, and that seemed to help. It was a little bit wider. I'm going to just go ahead and retrace all those white lines, make them a little bit bolder. And I don't really have enough room to decorate the end zones, but that would be cute as well. Now I'm going to cut it in half, about halfway, and then cut a little circle here in the middle. And that's because there is a pole on the top of my tier tray. That way I can just install it easily. Now I found this great little football site at Dollar Tree. They have so many cute options. This year they have football pumpkins that are adorable. And that would be perfect for this tier tray as well. The only thing I didn't like about it is that the family, friends, and football was white glitter. So I'm trying to tone that down a little bit with some matte Mod Podge from Dollar Tree, a couple coats of that. But I love the orange and white, buffalo check background. I think that's going to be perfect. I also found an orange and white football at Dollar Tree, so that's perfect. I don't have to do anything to that, but you can always paint it if you needed to. I also picked up a little football glass. They have these in the kitchen section at Dollar Tree. The only challenging part of this was just getting the tag off the bottom. And then it's clear glass football, and I thought it'd be cute to fill it up with some little orange pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. So I did some felt ones. Then I decided I kind of wanted to carry on that orange and white buffalo check. So I have some of those from the Dollar Tree as well. So I'm just going to mix the two of them together, fill up our football full of pumpkins. It's both of my themes for this tier tray today. And the orange and white football is perfect color. Now, Dollar Tree was kind of my inspiration for the football and pumpkins mixed together because they like to do the little football pumpkin signs together that you see there. So I thought I would use one of their little hanging signs and make a couple little decorations for the tier tray. So this is just a thrifted sign. It's just something that I picked up at Goodwill. I got it for half off, so I'm just going to remake it. It had words all over it, so I'm just going to have to mask those with a couple coats of ivory paint first so you can't see through there. And then I'm going to do a faux wood look just by dragging a foam brush over the ivory color with some antique wax by Waverly, just working in one direction, and see how you get that like faux wood grain finish. I think that looks really cute, and that's going to be a really cute background for one of those little Dollar Tree signs. So I also kind of stained the sides as well, just to kind of make it look even. And I went over that with a couple coats of the Antique Wax by Waverly to make that look really like wood. Again, glitter on the football sign, so I'm just going over the football sign with some matte Mod Podge to tone down the glitter a little bit. And then I'm just going to simply attach the pumpkin that says football to the little thrifted sign. It's going to make a perfect size little tier tray sign for my tier tray. I have a little raffia bow that I took off of another fall item from Dollar Tree. And so I just decided to glue that to the top of my pumpkin. What an easy little DIY. It's definitely football, definitely pumpkins. Now, it didn't want to stand up too well, so I'm also going to glue a wood block here in the bottom part of the frame just to make that a little sturdier. Next up, I found that orange and white like buffalo check pattern in a Dollar Tree pumpkin. I thought I would just replace the stem with one of the little wood stems from the Dollar Tree to make it look a little bit more high end than the plastic one that was already in there. But I want to kind of try to leave all the fabric in place because it's a perfect theme. I also finish it off with just a little jute twine tied in a simple little bow. It's going to make a sweet little decoration, perfect size for the tier tray. Now I'm going to use some more of those football signs from the hanging sign. This is just a Dollar Tree sign, and I'm going to pop out the little bump out. You can't really take the back out of those frames from the Dollar Tree if you've ever tried crafting with them. So I want to cover the little footprints on the back. So I just used like this wood look removable wallpaper from Dollar Tree. I cut it down a little small, but I think we can patch it. That looks pretty good. I'm going to leave the frame as is. And then we can add one of the footballs from that sign to it as well. Again, I want to tone down the glitter. I wish they would just quit putting the glitter on this stuff. So I just do matte Mod Podge all over the football as well. And then I'm going to take one of those footballs and just glue some twine on the back. I'm going to use that to tie to the ring on the very top of my tier tray. And so that's just kind of a little strap handle, and then I'll use the other one for a little football sign. It does kind of need like a little bump out. And so I'm using the existing piece that was on there before. I just hot glue that right back in where it was before. And then I can glue my little football sign to that. And again, that sign had like it had like 3 pumpkins, 2 footballs on it. Then to continue my pumpkin theme, I found a really cute orange pumpkin from the Dollar Tree. It doesn't need anything. And then I thought for a little fall filler, we could also use some of the little burlap oak leaves from the Dollar Tree. They are so cute. I love to craft or decorate with these. So this was a really easy fall tier tray DIY. I think we're ready to put this one together. Again, I'm doing my rectangular tier tray. I'm just going to kind of put my little Dollar Tree football back here on this side. And here is our little football glass full of pumpkins. That's super cute. It's nice and tall, so I think that's going to be a good piece for the back of my tier tray. And then I told you I was going to tie one of the little footballs here to the top. And I put the twine on the back so I can just tie that simply on my ring. I like to kind of decorate that area if I can, just so it's kind of not forgotten. You can kind of do like a little statement piece up there. So I just tie my football right to the top. And then to finish off the top of the tier tray, we have the little family, friends, and football sign from Dollar Tree. So cute. I love it. I love all the orange and white on this. Then for a little filler, I'm going to use the little burlap leaves from the Dollar Tree. The leather ones would look really cute as well. And that is how the top tier looks. For the bottom tier, here is the little piece of green felt that we did the little white lines on for the football field. It's almost long enough. I'm just going to lay that straight in there. And again, I cut a circle and a line so I can kind of put that on there, kind of like you do a tablecloth. And then we have our little field goal posts that we made with the little items from the Dollar Tree. And I personalized mine with my favorite team. I'm going to stand one on each end. The rectangular size is perfect for a football field. And they're tall enough that they can go on the sides of the top tier and they fit nicely. Here's our little football sign that we DIY'd out of a thrifted sign and a little football sign from the Dollar Tree. An orange pumpkin. Another, the ceramic orange pumpkin from the Dollar Tree is so pretty. They have so many great ones this year, so many beautiful colors. And then the little orange and white gingham one right here in the front. All we did was replace the stem on that one. It's so cute for the pumpkin theme. And then another little football sign using that football sign from the Dollar Tree. So I think maybe a little bit more filler just to fill up some of the empty spots. We can do some more of the little burlap leaves. And this was just such an easy little fall tier tray. And I know there's lots of you out there that like football or have families that enjoy football. And this is going to be a theme they're going to be really excited about. The next fall tier tray idea I have for you is little blue trucks filled with pumpkins. I love little blue trucks. I've used them a lot for fall crafting, and this is a tier tray all about them. Another fall tier tray. I found this great little truck, I guess planter at the Dollar Tree. And it's already blue, but I wanted to do like a little blue truck theme, and it wasn't quite the right shade of blue. So I'm just painting the ceramic truck this light blue color. This is agave chalk paint by Waverly, and just repainting their blue to the color of blue that I wanted, because we're doing a little blue truck and pumpkin theme for a fall tier tray for my kitchen table. So once I get it painted blue, I just use a paint pen to paint the tires black. We're not going to do a lot of details on here, but we're going to try to make it look a little bit better since we painted the whole thing blue. And then I'm going to use just some ivory chalk paint to paint back on the windows just to give it a little bit more detail. Nothing crazy. And then I'm going to distress it all over with ivory because I love that coastal farmhouse look. And I found a lot of great little blue truck items at the Dollar General for this. I fill up the back of it with little tiny pumpkins that I got from Dollar Tree. I just removed them from the little skewers because they were so tiny. And then I used a skewer and just painted it to make little tiny pumpkin stems for the ones that are on top to pile that in the back of the truck. And I did put a little plastic bag in there first to kind of fill it up so I didn't have to use as many pumpkins. Super easy, just loading up the back of the truck. And then we are just going to do all the DIYs first, and then I'll show you how to put them all together on a 3-tier tray for fall. Now, this is one of the little fall pumpkin boxes from the Dollar Tree. I just painted it all over with some pumpkin orange paint and then used a little Dollar Tree foam and a little reindeer moss to fill that in. And then a little bit of this greenery bouquet from Dollar Tree to make a very simple little pumpkin flower arrangement for our tier tray, because it's not going to be just little blue trucks. It's also going to be orange pumpkins as well. So I thought that would be really easy. The next item, this is a tiered tray starter kit from Target Dollar Spot that I got there a couple of years ago. And I thought we could probably use some of the signs here. I think the little Farm Fresh pumpkin sign is going to be perfect. And then I also found this for $1 at Target Dollar Spot, a little metal truck. So it was already white, so it's kind of a perfect canvas. They painted that same agave chalk paint by Waverly to make another little blue truck. This one a little bit larger, definitely different feel with it being metal instead of the ceramic. And then we're just going to fill that up with little pumpkins in the back as well. Super easy to paint. I really like these little pumpkins from the Target Dollar Spot. They're a little bit painted nicer than the ones from the Dollar Tree, but I'm just going to load up the back of my truck with those. And I'm going to see how many little blue trucks we can find for this tier tray. That one is ready to go, and on to our next fall mini. I found these great pumpkins at Dollar Tree. One is ceramic and this one's concrete. Very cool. I'm just going to paint mine orange because I want that orange pumpkin feel, and it was super easy to paint these, especially the concrete one. It's great texture for taking paint. And I'm just using chalk paint by Waverly, I think in the color pumpkin on that one. And then I'm also going to paint the ceramic one. You have to be a little bit more careful when you paint the ceramic one. Make sure you don't touch it on anything because it's harder a little bit to get the paint to dry on that smoothly. And then I let them dry and then touch them up if needed. I just wanted two very simple little orange pumpkins. I think my favorite one is the concrete one. And then I used a little bit of a brown color for the pumpkin stem on this one, just to give it a little bit of variety color. And I'm also going to do that on the concrete one. Just a simple DIY. We have a couple of orange pumpkins, the perfect color. Now, this is a little truck wood sign from the Dollar Tree. I don't really like the fact that it has glitter on it, but I'm going to show you how I make mine super cute. So the first thing I do is use a sanding block to try to remove the excess glitter. And then I was like, you know what? It's not going to come off. So I'm just going to go ahead and stain it all over with some antique wax by Waverly to give me that stained wood feel first. Then we're just going to go in and decorate this with paint pens. I had like a light bluish green color here that I started with to kind of paint in the sign. And then I switched up to orange, painted the pumpkins. I think my camera died there for a second. And then green for the leaves. Wasn't a big fan of the blue color, so I went back with that same agave color that we've been using everywhere else and colored in the rest of the truck with that. Doesn't it look so much better already? And then I'm going to fill in the little paint pen ones with the same pumpkin color that we used before to do the pumpkins and the gourds on the back. And I'm going to change the leaves up a little bit by adding some yellow to them because that'll make them look more like fall. I don't know what I was thinking with green. Then I just use a black Sharpie to kind of redraw all the lines back on. I can still kind of see them through the paint. It's going to give a lot more detail to this DIY and really make things pop. It kind of gives it kind of a cartoonish feel. I also use my Sharpie to draw on top of the glitter Happy Harvest that was on there before, and you can't even tell that there was glitter on there before. So it's a way you can take one of these little cheap signs from the Dollar Tree and make it look more high-end by staining it and painting it. And I stained it because there is like the outline all around, outside of the design. Then I distressed it with ivory. Okay, I found these at Dollar General, little pumpkin salt and pepper shakers. They are perfect. I also found this little blue truck that lights up from Dollar General for $3. It's already the perfect color and everything. Now for the little salt and pepper shaker, I thought we could make a tray out of one of these little metal bins from the Dollar Tree. And then I also found a table runner from Dollar General with the little blue trucks full of pumpkins. And since this tier tray was going to go on my kitchen table, it's going to tie it all together. I thought that the salt and pepper shaker probably could use a sign. This is another sign from the Target Dollar Spot out of that tier tray starter kit that says Farm Fresh Pumpkins. I'm just going to hot glue mine to the back of that galvanized metal bin so that I have salt and pepper shakers that we can use on the kitchen table. Now, this is a thrifted pumpkin tray, but it's very similar to the one from Dollar Tree. It probably was from the Dollar Tree, who knows? And I thought that would be really cute. Just cleaning that up a little bit, and we can use that on the tier tray as well. Now, you guys recognize these? We're going to use some more of the straw bales from the Dollar Tree. I've got all kinds of tricks trying to contain the mess here of those straw bales. And we're going to use those as like a riser for items on the tier tray. We're doing a 3-tier tray this time. And then since it's a kitchen table, I need napkins, and I found the perfect napkins for $1.50 at Dollar General with little blue trucks with pumpkins in the back. So don't sleep on Dollar General. They have great things too. For another riser, I'm just going to use one of these little chunky wood circle blocks from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to stain mine with some Antique Wax by Waverly to make it look a little bit better. Then I wanted kind of a larger sign for the tier tray. So I'm using one of these galvanized metal square signs from the Dollar Tree, along with a giant pumpkin sticker from the Dollar Tree to make a very easy little pumpkin sign. And I think that turned out really cute. I'm just going to use one of those Five Below Jenga blocks glued to the back to stand that up to make it a standing sign for the tier tray. I think that's going to go great because the tier tray that we're decorating now is a galvanized metal tier tray. The last item are some maple leaves from Dollar Tree to give that little fall theme. And I'm just kind of trying to leave them all together, but rearrange them so you can kind of see it from both sides and cut off the stem because I don't really need it. And this is going to be a fun little decorating piece. It's going to give me that pop of color for this tier tray. Sorry, the editing's kind of choppy on this one. This was an older video, but it was still turned out really cute, so I wanted to show it to you. So I started by tying the leaves right there to the top with twine of my 3-tier tray, and we can start putting this one together with our little metal truck from the Target Dollar Spot filled with pumpkins in the back. You can see some Halloween decorations peeking out there in the back. I've had lots of Halloween DIY videos out recently. If you haven't seen them, be sure to check them out. Oh, look at this. Special appearance by my son's bearded dragon. He had just rescued him when I made this tier tray. And, you know, fun fact is he was not allowed to take that to college because its tank was too big. And so now I am the proud owner of a rescued bearded dragon named Charlie. But you know what? She's actually a girl. So moving down here to the 2nd tier, I am going to put this little truck up on a hay bale so you can see it, but not so sure I like the flashing light. Probably going to turn that off. That's a little annoying, right? And then I just use a dollar spot sign as another riser because I didn't know if you'd be able to see the salt and pepper shakers or they'd be really accessible. And I'm just going to put our little Farm Fresh pumpkin bin with our pumpkin salt and pepper shaker right next to our little blue truck. And keep spinning this around. I got this tier tray at Target. A lot of you guys have asked. It was in their kitchen section, but I believe it's been discontinued because I do remember seeing it on clearance. It's a nice big one, but again, takes a lot to decorate it. And our little concrete pumpkin here next to our little blue truck sign that we DIY'd. And we can use some of those little pumpkins from the Target Dollar Spot for filler to fill out this fall tier tray. And we can keep moving on. I'm trying to make sure that little truck doesn't fall off. Super cute. The colors were perfect on that, so I didn't have to do anything to that one. And now moving on to the bottom tier. This is a large one. I'm going to use one of these little place card chalkboards from Target so I can stand my napkins up here so they'll be accessible, but they're also going to act as decoration because they're totally our little blue truck theme. And as you can see, I have the runner underneath of it too that I found at Dollar General with the little blue trucks. You guys know I love a good little blue truck. I've done so many fall little blue truck DIYs here on my channel. This is the one from Dollar Tree, filled in with pumpkins. And spinning this around so we can decorate this some more. Up next is this little pumpkin planter that we made. Super cute, and I always like having a plant on a tier tray. It adds a fun little element. And then this is that little galvanized metal sign that we made with just a pumpkin sticker from Dollar Tree. So easy. A little hay bale over here for a riser, and another one of the Dollar Tree pumpkins that we painted orange. Gonna use some more of those little Target dollar spot pumpkins for filler to fill in this tier tray as well. And up next for the next fall tier tray idea is owls. I told you guys I could come up with lots of different themes for fall tier trays, but I think owls is really unique and fun. Now we're going to switch it up and do some owl DIYs for a tier tray. And our first owl DIY, I'm going to use one of these little MDF owls that I found at the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree. And the first thing I'm going to do is give it a coat of ivory all over. And I think it's going to be a perfect smaller size owl DIY for a tier tray. And the tier tray that I was crafting for was my 3-tier tray, so it's going to be a lot of DIYs, little smaller owl DIYs. Now for the eyes, I just chose 2 bottle caps off of a plastic soda bottle. I thought that might be fun, and painted those ivory as well. And then I'm going to give a little bit of a distress with antique wax by Waverly on my owl. Now for the pupil of the eye in the little bottle caps, I'm just going to take some of these little plastic round stickers from the Dollar Tree and just paint them black to look like little eyes. You could also use like buttons for this if you wanted. And then I'm just going to hot glue those right in the center of our little bottle caps. And it was a fun idea for owl eyes. I'm also going to use some Dollar Tree rope with that to kind of line the eyes to kind of give them a rustic feel, because I'm not going to do a traditional fall theme with the owls. I'm going to do like more of a coastal blue owl version, kind of to match my decor. But you know what? If you want to do more traditional colors, just kind of keep that in mind when you're watching these DIYs, because you could always switch it up. But I thought the brown rope from the Dollar Tree would make a really fun owl eye, just hot gluing that around our little bottle caps. And there's lots of fun ideas you can do for owl eyes. You just want something that's going to give it that big statement owl eye. And I thought that was a fun take on it. Gonna do the same thing here on the other side, just hot gluing that right around, trying to trim it down to size. And I wanted it kind of an ivory owl, but I also wanted to do some like light blue touches on there as well. And so the first thing I do is just burn off the fuzzies there. And then I use like my little aqua paint pen to give it some nice, pretty blue eyes here around our little pupils. I think that gave it some really nice color, and it's kind of fun seeing an owl with some blue eyes, right? And then for the little owl beak, I thought it would be really fun to do a coastal touch by using some sea glass from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just trying to find one that is the right shape and the right color. And I kind of wanted it to be blue to go with my blue theme, and I found one. They usually have like a flat side, and so that's what I'm going to glue down to my little owl here. And it's a perfect shape for a little owl beak. Then I use that same blue color to do some like little scales here on the front of our owl. Kind of like mermaid scales. And a few details sketched out on there as well. Some little orange for his little owl feet. And then I go back and distress all of the aqua, all the colors that we just added to that, kind of give it a softer feel. This little guy was super fun to put together. Now for the eyes, I wanted a little bit more texture in there. So I thought I would use some of this wire jute from Dollar Tree just to add another little rope to kind of disguise the fact that these were actually bottle caps and give it just another little fun texture. So I just wrap those around each one of the little owl eyes to kind of make those owl's eyes just really pop. And then for the chest, I thought I didn't really like the scales I designed on there, and so I switched it up and added some seashells too, because they kind of have that same shape of like the little scales of, you know, fur or feathers, I guess, on the owl chest. So I just glued 2 of them side by side, and then I'll glue a third one here to the top to kind of give you that like feel. And I like that. I think that looks fun. Kind of unexpected, but you know, if I'm going to find an excuse to use seashells, I totally will. But I do want them to have a little bit of a blue touch, so I use that same aqua color, kind of just detail, distress them a little bit. Our fun little owl here for the tier tray. Just a few final touches until I'm super happy with them. And I even wanted that to look a little bit shinier because I felt like I used a lot of like matte colored paints on those. So I just did a little gloss Mod Podge on top. And then I want them to stand up. So I'm just going to use one of these Jenga blocks from Five Below, glue that to the back of our little owl. And then I decided he needs a little more distressing. So I did distress him all over with a little bit more Antique Wax by Waverly, just because I wanted this little guy to have lots of character. I think he kind of already does. Lots of 3D touches on that. And then I decided just a few more. So I'm just going to make some little tassels, kind of like I did before, just by wrapping some twine around my fingers. And I'm going to use those to make little feathers here on the side. Just another little coastal touch. I kind of went extra on this owl, but I love how it turned out. So I just attached that with hot glue and then just cut off the knots, kind of like I did before, for the little ear tufts of the other one to give him some little fluffy wings here. And he is complete, and he's ready for the tier tray. Now, this is a planter that I got for $3.50. Actually got it at Dollar General. I thought it was really beautiful though. And I love the texture and the design on there, but I thought it was a little plain being all white. So I told you we're going to do blue for our owls on this one, because you know what? If it's your owls, you can make them any color you want. So I'm just kind of avoiding the eyes here and going around and painting all of the little scales here on the owl blue with some agave chalk paint by Waverly. And we're going to add this little planter to our tier tray. And I think he turned out so cute. So I wanted the eyes to be left like that white color. And so I was just being really careful to avoid those when painting. So I kind of switched up to a smaller brush to give me a little bit more detail. And then I'm going to use like this goldish brown color paint pen to color in his little beak and both of his eyes. And I think that's a fun complementary color to the blue. So I think that looks really good, but I think I could bring out the texture on all of the owl scales a little bit more with a little bit distressing. I do touch up the top of it there just to kind of finish off the blue and make that look a little nicer. And then I just take ivory and a chunky brush and I distress all over, kind of wiping off the excess. You got to be careful though that you're not wiping off the blue, but I just wanted them to have that kind of coastal farmhouse vibe. Blue with the ivory distressing, but it also brings out that great texture on it. If you find that you distress a little too much on your owl, you could always go back with your original color and touch it up. But instead of a plant, I thought it would be really fun to fill this up with some pumpkins, but it's really large, so I fill it up with some foam first. And then just some of the little white pumpkins here from the Dollar Tree. I'm using just whatever I had. I had some ivory picks that didn't have the little pumpkin stems, and then some of them that do. I just used the ones with stems on top and just fill it all the way up with the pumpkins. Okay, next DIY for the owl tier tray. I picked up one of these little owl wood boxes from the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree, and we are going to stain this. I just go all over with Antique Wax by Waverly. They're a little tricky to stain these little boxes from the Dollar Tree because you have to do the sides. You kind of have to do the insides, kind of anywhere that you're going to be able to see it. But I kind of give it a once over everywhere that I can kind of stain it, I do. And then I just wipe off the excess with a paper towel, and it has that beautiful wood grain. I do want it to look coastal though, so I do distress that with a little bit of ivory paint to kind of give it that old aged appearance. And I'm going to do that kind of all over. And this is a really fun find from Crafter Square as well. Owls is something that I find that they carry kind of year round. But I always like to decorate owls for fall. I don't know why. They just remind me of a fun fall animal. So I even distress the sides, the inside, anywhere that I think you might be able to see it. And then we're going to light it up with just a battery operated candle from Dollar Tree. I just take some twine and tie off a simple little bow. I thought that would be a nice, fun, decorative touch here to one of the little ear tufts. We can kind of make it look like a little girl owl, and I just do that, gluing it to the top. Then I had a fun idea that if I took some tissue paper, I could cover up the owl eyes, and then the candle would light that up and make them look like they're glowing. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting down some white. If you had yellow tissue paper, I think that will look even better. And I'm just kind of cutting that down to size and then using a little bit of glue here, a glue stick, to lightly glue the tissue paper and glue it on the inside where the owl eyes now will glow that hopefully yellow color from the candle. And that's how it turned out, ready for the tier tray. The next DIY is from Dollar Tree. It's this little like white ceramic owl. It's kind of got like a really interesting texture on it. I don't know if it's really fall, Halloween, or like Day of the Dead, but I really liked it. And so the first thing I'm going to do is distress this little owl all over with some Antique Wax by Waverly. And that's going to bring out that beautiful texture on the front of this owl. I try to keep one direction, kind of giving it a wood grain, kind of make it look like a little carved owl instead of that, like, flat white ceramic that it started out with. And I thought that was a fun effect. Now, when you paint like ceramic with Antique Wax by Waverly like this, you got to make sure that you get it really good and dry before you touch it, because it does take longer to dry on this kind of material than paint would. And see how cool the design is on that? I think it's really fun. I just made sure I got all the areas touched up, and then I'm going to distress it with ivory too to give it that aged appearance. And that distressing also brings out the texture even more by kind of making those areas kind of pop. No blue on this guy, but I think he looks cool. I was going for like a carved wood look on this owl. Okay, next DIY for owl tier tray. I picked this up at the Crafter Square at Dollar Tree too. It is just a wood owl, and it's kind of got like the front panels on it. I just go over the whole thing with some blue. This is agave chalk paint by Waverly. You do have to be kind of careful though, because the paint kind of wants to like kind of sit there in the owl's scales on its chest. But I wanted blue for the back owl, and then I wanted the top part of it to be distressed more in like the ivory, to kind of do a blue and a white theme on this little owl. So I just kind of drag that over. I don't really worry about getting some on the blue owl, because I'm just going to go back and distress it anyway with that ivory color. Then once I get it painted all that color, I want to distress it even more. So I use a little Antique Wax by Waverly, and I distress both the ivory parts and the blue parts to give it that aged appearance. I want him to stand up too, so I glue a little Five Below Jingle Block to him as well. And this little owl DIY is ready to go. Super cute, super easy. Now, this one I actually got at Goodwill. I got it half price. It was only $1.50. And it's a really fun, like, plush owl. I think I looked this up online, and maybe they were, like, originally sold at Kohl's. But at the time, I thought that, this could be handmade. It really kind of looks handmade with all the, like, little crocheted parts and stuff like that. It was well loved, so I'm just going to touch it up, glue back any parts that might have fallen off, or, clean it up a little bit. But otherwise, he was in pretty good condition, and I thought he'd be really fun on the top of my tier tray because he's nice and large. He'll be a nice statement piece. He's got, like, burlap on him. He's got, like, all these different colors of brown and tan and different textures. He's even got, like, little leather eyes. So I thought he was a fun find. I also got this little candle holder at Goodwill for 99 cents, and it just looks like a little tree log. And I thought that would be perfect for an owl tier tray for fall as well. Now, this little owl is from the Dollar Tree. They have these in all different colors, but I wasn't really a fan of any of them, but you can always paint them, and that's what I'm going to do. I just use that same agave chalk paint by Waverly. The chalk paint does a really good job of painting over this glossy ceramic, and I'm just going to paint him all over. I was like looking online for owls, and like people take these little owls from the Dollar Tree and they paint them all different colors like this and sell them for way more online, I've noticed. Then I just distress him all over with ivory. It's going to bring out all like the scales, feathers all over a little owl, and gives me a really fun texture. So I just kind of go back and forth with my colors there until I'm happy with him. And I think he's ready to go. Okay, the next find, I found these owl salt and pepper shakers. Aren't they so cute? I thought these were a really fun find, and these were from Dollar Tree. The first thing I'm going to do is paint them ivory. I'm not going to use these as salt and pepper shakers. I'm actually just going to use them as decorations for my tier tray, and so I don't really care that I'm not using like food safe paint or anything like that. because I'm not going to use them. So I painted one ivory, so I thought it'd be fun to paint the other one, the agave blue color that we were using. And so they'll look a little bit different, but they're going to be shaped the same. And I thought they would be really cute to do like a little blue owl, little ivory owl, and sit them up on a Dollar Tree hay bale. So they're looking pretty cute. I do go in and give a little bit of detail with like my gold paint pen, give him some little gold eyes, a little gold beak, and I do the same thing on this one just to give them a little bit more detail. And then this is the Dollar Tree hay bale. I am just going to stand them up on that, and they are ready to go. Another owl crafter square find. I found this little wood box with this cute little owl on it. And I thought that'd be a fun thing to, decorate my tier tray with. At first I tried to avoid the owl, but then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stain the whole thing with Antique Wax by Waverly. And then I can always go back and paint the owl over that. No big deal. I am going to go ahead and include the entire box. So I just go ahead and stain the entire box with the Antique Wax by Waverly. Now to kind of stay with my blue theme, I'm kind of using kind of a mint green bluish color to color in my cute little owl here on the front. He's kind of cartoonish, but I think he's super cute. I kind of paint everywhere that bluish color except for the eyes. So we can kind of go back in and make that two-tone. I'm just going to paint the eyes of our little owl ivory to kind of make them pop against the blue. And this was such a fun, easy little DIY to do. Don't be afraid of like these raw wood boxes like that. If they have something on them, that would match your theme. Didn't that turn out so cute? I thought for a little bit more texture, I could take some of the burlap trim ribbon to decorate around the side of the lid. I thought that'd be cute too. But again, I'm going to distress everything with some ivory to kind of give it that coastal farmhouse vibe that I love so much. So I distress the little wooden lid. I also go ahead and distress the box just so it's a little bit more uniform. Wiping off any excess with a baby wipe. Now I can go ahead and attach the burlap trim. I'm just going to do it around the edges. I thought it would just give us another little fun texture here to our owl tier tray. And I just go all the way around all four sides, just tacking that down with hot glue. And this DIY is ready to go. Isn't it cute? I love the little blue owl. And I can stand that on the side where you'll be able to see it on a tier tray. Okay, I found this cute little owl actually at the Target dollar spot. He's a little teeny tiny owl planter. He was $1. And so it was kind of like an unfinished ceramic. So to make it more finished, I just go over it with some ivory chalk paint to give him a good coat of paint. And then I'm going to go in with like my mint green paint pen, give him some like blue eyes. And my gold paint pen, give him a little golden nose. And kind of bring out some of the scales there on the front of him as well. He's super tiny, but I thought he'd be a fun little thing for the tier tray. Okay, the next DIY, I thought it would be fun to do like a tree, since we're doing owls and we're doing a fall theme. So I picked up one of these galvanized metal trees from Dollar Tree, and I just do the trunk with Antique Wax by Waverly, but I also put some all around the tree because I want it to look like a fall tree. So I want to paint it, but I want to do like all different colors, like fall colors that a tree might be. So I go back in and kind of distress all of that with just some yellow paint and kind of blending it all together. I thought orange would be good too. So I go in with some orange too, kind of dot that around. I just wanted to look like a kind of an abstract fall tree that we can add a little owl to. I go back with some yellow, kind of distressing over the orange because it was kind of bright until I'm happy with it. For the owl, I'm going to use a little owl sticker that I found at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use this one because he's got blue on him. It's kind of going to go with my blue theme of my owls. And I just stick him right inside the tree. Now, sometimes I like to decorate the little pole in the middle of my tier tray, and I found these great owl bows at the Dollar Tree, and they're burlap. I thought these would be perfect. I can just put that on there. And then for a little filler, I thought some golden fall leaves from the Dollar Tree would be perfect. So let's start putting this little owl tier tray together. Again, this is my 3-tiered galvanized metal tier tray that I got at Target. I always remove the ring on the top of mine just because it kind of gets in the way. So I just put the bow on there. Here is our thrift find owl. He is such a find. I love that little guy. Our little blue and white owl, our little tiny owl, we could just put on top of that little log candle. That looks really fun, and then you can see it. Moving down, we have our little candle owl that we DIY'd. Our Dollar Tree owl right here in front. I love him in blue. The little box that we DIY'd, so fun. Sorry, I'm totally banging the camera here. And the one that looks a little bit carved. Gonna just use some fall leaves to provide a little fun fall color in there. A nice contrast against all the blues that we used. And then we have one more tier to decorate. So the little hay bale with our little salt and pepper shakers. We DIY'd one blue and one white. And our little tree with our little owl in it as a fun little fall surprise. Gonna again use some of those leaves as filler. And here is that fun little owl that we DIY'd with all kinds of fun coastal touches. And then our little owl planter full of pumpkins to finish it off. So fun putting this little owl tier tray together. I am just going to kind of rearrange things here until I'm super happy with it. And just fill up any areas that don't have anything with some more fall leaves. And you've made it all the way to the final reveal. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to comment which one of the fall tier trays was your favorite down in the comments below. And I know today's video was a long video, so thank you so much for sticking with me. That really helps my channel here on YouTube. And you can catch me on all social media at Crafty Beach on YouTube. Enjoy the final reveal.
Open up the window. I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold when the autumn leaves are playing chase. It puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are Since I was a little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. Turn the world around us into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. I wonder where they're going, the flight of swallows sailing through the sky. There's no way of knowing, but maybe someplace far from you and I. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. Dancing through the last days of September. Open up the window, I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low, dancing through the last days of September. Since I was a little child, every year for as long as I remember, all the leaves were running wild, going all the way until November. Turn the world around us into gold. When the When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are low. Dancing through the last days of September. Dancing through the last days of September. Open up the window. I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold. When the autumn leaves are playing chase it, puts a smile up on my face. They leave their branches one by one and whirl around there just for fun. Some are faster, some are slow, and some are high and some are...
And I want to give a huge thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bum members for supporting my channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much to Karen O'Haron, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Tracy Knight, Nancy Wunner, Janae Farrington, Julie Miller, Pamelia Wren, Maria Grace, Donna Schreiner, Sandy C., Live Another Day, Tracy Woldridge, Maren Christensen, Debbie Middleton, Vicki Connors, Adrian Brolt, Deborah Caldwell, Red Mama, and Tammy Muir. I really appreciate you guys being members. It definitely helps my channel a little bit, and every little bit helps. If you would like to become a Crafty Beach Bum member, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos here on YouTube, and it's $4.99 a month, and you're free to cancel at any time. Do you want even more fall crafting DIYs? I've got you covered. Check out one of these videos right here, and let's continue this crafting marathon.